I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, bet you guys never seen this before. There's a new girl in town, right, Adam? Adam,
oh, I don't think I recognize you.
Get your butt back. There he is. There's a new girl in town that goes by the name of Aspen Connor.
A new girl in town?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like
that? I
that?
thought her name was Sunny Justice.
You guys have never seen me with shades on before. I'm trying to be in disguise tonight. It's a little bit sometimes embarrassing knowing Aspen Connor. Adam, aka Adam.
Can I really quickly? Can we welcome Ivy Rose to our stream?
I was gonna say,
hello. I'm in the middle of pouring a drink.
She's doing what's important. Okay.
Absolutely. Could you pour me one?
I just poured out the end of my bottle.
Yeah. Doesn't Adam really look good in shades like that?
They really suit your face.
They do, don't they? I know. He's prepping himself for the Drunk Turkey show when we go on there on Monday.
It's cheaper than Botox.
Yeah. Mine just simply hides my, black and blue eyes that, I have because, I just walked into a door. Thought I'd try it. I've never done this before. I actually feel weird. I don't, I've owned a sunglass booth and I don't like things on my face. So it's actually.
Did you own a kiosk in the mall?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For about 5 years.
I knew that, but...
Yeah. And I love putting glasses on people and finding ones that really suit them. I just could never do it for myself. So Grizz.
Right.
This is.
Okay, Grizz. 3 nights, Grizz. You've got to have one's money tonight, but you've given us no love. And here we are, just making a fool of ourselves. So,
no, Adam,
and Deb,
that's you.
Deb, could you repeat what you asked me in the chat earlier tonight? Adam, how much have you had to drink?
A little.
I said less than I had last night. Okay.
He's like, they're actually like a purpley, like a purpley pink, but a purpley more.
Right, I like those, Sonny.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They match your hair.
Well,
and your skin.
See, I would get free glasses, so these are just like free, like they're a prescription. Or did I put prescriptions in these? I actually don't think I did. Actually,
I love prescription sunglasses.
I've never had them.
Can I just tell you guys this? Because this is definitely not to do with Delphi. But do you know how many people, me being an optical, do you know how many people actually go, oh, really? You can put prescriptions in sunglasses? And I'm like, really?
What year do they live in?
That's like, it was a very common thing that people,
right.
I'm not kidding, were shocked when they learned that you could put prescriptions in sunglasses. And I'm like, what's the difference? Lens is a lens is a lens. Doesn't matter if it's a sunglass or not.
I mean,
just always.
I mean, prescription sunglasses are a hell of a lot better than those like transitions.
Well, I have transitions as well.
Oh, no offense.
The transitions are actually quite expensive, but they're really cheap. But
they are, but I mean, they're a statement. They say a lot about our personality.
What does it say about myself then? Because I do have a pair because they were free. I can get whatever I wanted there. So
I read men and women differently when I look at transition lenses.
Go on.
Like if I see a man wearing transition lenses, I think to myself, what a lazy POS.
Oh, Is that what
But
you would
if I see a lady wearing them, I'm kind of like, oh, she's moving ahead. She's got determination. She knows where she's going, and she's got shit to do.
Okay, so they stack manure that high as you're talking right now, don't they? I
Yeah.
didn't realize that until you just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get much sleep following that, right? Okay, so Adam keeps using words that YouTube doesn't like.
One time,
right,
I
Ivy?
use one word, Sonny.
2. I've counted 2 now. All right.
I
What was
should
the
have
second
asked
one?
for a list of
The S word
bad
was
words.
What was
because
What was the second one?
I like bad words.
Didn't you use the B word?
No.
Are you sure? Did he, Ivy? Did he?
I don't know.
Let me
I
check.
did not use the B word. I used the S word.
Let me just take a look.
And I regretted it as soon as I said it.
I've heard that if you refrain from those words for the first 20, 30 minutes, that it's fine afterwards. At least for bigger ones. I feel
Why am I
the
hearing
rules
an
are
echo?
different for bigger. Am I echoing? If I'm not hearing it, it's probably me. But what's wrong?
No, I'm pretty sure it's me. I just had to find which tab it was.
Okay.
Grizz, I'm not sucking up. I'm asking you, have you not won at poker in the last 3 nights? I mean, are you not good?
Yep, definitely Adam, you guys. It was definitely Adam. Yellow, Adam, yellow. He doesn't know how to wait 30 seconds before the live starts. Anyway, I can't. Okay, I have a hard time, man. You guys, I can't stand things on my face. It literally irritates me. You know how everyone has their pet peeves? I hate something distracting me from my vision. So off I go.
Do you forgive me now, Sonny?
Well, if it turns green at some point, I will.
Wait, do you forgive me now? Look at me.
No, not really. Not really.
Wait, how about now?
No, might work on Deb, but it doesn't work on
How about now?
I don't have an echo. Do you guys hear an echo? Because the echo is gone. There was an echo because I had another live that was kind of playing, or another instance playing in the background.
Sonny has it.
It's Ray, okay? Ray, he isn't non-susceptible to being a drinker. Oh, that's so good. Ivy, what are you drinking?
I just took a big drink right before you asked that.
Of what?
I'm drinking pineapple juice and coconut rum, which is pretty much the only thing I drink.
Coconut rum? I've never heard of this.
What?
You've heard of coconut rum?
Nope. Never heard of coconut rum?
What's going on up there in Canada?
I don't know. We're making igloos and drinking maple syrup. I don't know what you guys do daily, but that's pretty much what we do.
Coconut rum's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Just before we get started on Delphi, let me ask you both. What do you think about that big piece of bubble gum in the sky being taken down?
Oh, did they shoot it down?
Yeah. So I use the word take.
I've been busy tonight.
Oh, well, they did over the Atlantic Ocean near North Carolinas, I think it was. And so they took it down.
What you caught to the very, very end of the live you did? So
okay.
I only heard you say one thing, but did I hear you say there was a second one?
There is a second one over South America as well.
Wait, they took it down near North Carolina? Because that's where I'm at.
I think they called it, North Carolinas or whatever they called that.
The state I live in is North Carolina.
Yeah, but they said Carolinas.
They probably said the Carolinas, maybe.
Yeah, they're south in North Carolina.
No, I know. Okay. All right, here. Okay, so.
I mean, sometimes they call them the Carolinas.
Right, so maybe that's what the term that they were using. Because I was going to say, I know what South Carolina is and North Carolina is, but they use the term Carolinas. Right. So maybe that's what they meant. I don't know.
It was probably Alex Murdoch. He probably did it.
Probably, yeah. I know.
Gene said near Wilmington. Okay, so that's North Carolina. Oh, wait, now someone says Myrtle Beach. So that's South Carolina. So now we have
maybe that's
why they said the Carolinas.
They said the Carolinas. I remember that.
Well, Ray Jones is on the North Carolina coast, so I'm gonna assume he knows best.
Yeah.
Because he's near Beaufort, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and which is not far from Wilmington. It's kind of far, but it's not super far.
So my question is,
yeah.
Okay, so I haven't like read any of the stories. I probably should, but just from headlines, it said it was from China. But then in another one of my YouTube lives, not live streams, but like my multiple lives that I have on YouTube, there was a conspiracy guy, and they were like, "Of course, it's like New World Order people." So
yeah,
who
okay.
do you guys think it is?
Yeah, I'm not big on like big old theories and stuff like that. Yeah,
I watched it for entertainment because
yeah, I was gonna say
it's just China.
They said that it's believed to be from China.
This person also said it looked very similar to the International Space Station, and wouldn't it be funny if it was the fake ISS that had fallen out of the sky? So,
or maybe it was just something, like isn't everything sold in our country? Doesn't everything say made in China?
Very true. That is a great point.
It's probably made in China. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, like I said, we got it down earlier today. I don't know, quite a few hours.
China is condemning the US for shooting it down. Like what are you supposed to do? What's their story?
Well, I mean, they said it was a weather balloon. So, I mean, that was kind of one of those laughable jokes where everyone was like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
What they always say.
Yeah, and then it veered off course,
Veered off course. Oh, we had no idea. Veered off course.
Hey, guys.
Just happened to come all the way down from Canada into Montana and then across all the way to North Carolina. But veered off course.
It was moving fast.
But I mean, at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to say that we're, I mean, we'd be naive to think that we haven't done the same to them.
Let's be honest. Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, we just don't get caught.
Right. It's just a matter of, kind of subtly do it versus probably this.
How do you subtly put a giant balloon over the sky that looks like the moon? Which there was a full moon tonight.
Do you think that that's what they were trying to get away with? Like, oh, look at, we got 2 moons going on tonight. I wonder which one is the actual moon here.
There's the moon. That one video I loved that was like, okay, there's the moon. What's that?
I think we should mass send them what's those little Chinese lanterns? We should mass send them some Chinese lanterns over there, like in a big net.
That makes me think of the girls.
Yeah. And have little propellers on them and spin around the sky. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
That makes me think of when they did the anniversary for the girls and Anna, and they all did the Chinese lanterns.
Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful, but not to make it serious.
No, I love the little Chinese lanterns. I've made some birthday party things by making those, and I know at this one place here at the water, because we have a lot of Chinese that live here, and it was like this one day we went there, and all these little Chinese lanterns are in the sky. It was actually quite gorgeous. To watch them. Yeah. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Yeah. Okay. Publicity stunt for 2 Moon Chinese restaurant. Right? Yeah. I just think that it's, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens in the coming days. Well,
it's down, right?
Yeah, it's down. So.
Y'all want me to go to the beach and collect it?
Can't say I have, Grizz. Can't quite say I've been there.
Notice Grizz never commented on whether or not he was a good poker player or not.
I know, right? I know.
Apparently, we know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably take down.
If we see $1 million in the chat, then we'll know he's a good poker player. But if not, we know.
On there, yeah. I thanked everyone again, Adam, and for last night, because last night was quite fun. It was just turned into a very enjoyable night of just having a good laugh with you guys, as well as going over. I absolutely do, Lisa. I'm just see how that was squirrel. I'm talking, and then I see the Sunny loves the chicken balls. I truly do love chicken balls with cherry sauce. Okay. call it whatever sauce you want, but yeah, gotta give wife her cut. Oh, I see where we fall in the ranks, Grizz. All right. Okay, let's get on some track here. I know you guys came obviously just to see Ivy tonight, and she's here.
Lies.
Yeah, it's all lies. And I'm just going to put these back on just so I can pretend like you guys can't see me. So
Ivy's just getting ready before she turns her camera on.
Yeah, is that what's happening as she's plowing back a drink? Ivy, you haven't been on. You were on here quite a long time ago on there. So let me ask you. Let's get your thoughts on Delphi and what's going on. What have you been up to with Delphi, or if anything?
I've always been a pretty boring person when it comes to Delphi, because I've always said I've never had a POI. I've always said it's going to be somebody we've never heard of, and I have a lot of like, well, I think it could be this, but I could also see that it could be this.
Like a lot of people, right?
Right.
Yeah. I will say that I don't think that it's a drug revenge, because I don't think that they would go as far as to kill kids for that, especially if like you owe somebody money, because how does killing kids get somebody their money?
Yeah, unalive.
Oh, sorry. See, I should have asked for a list.
No,
like
okay.
Joking and for real.
Yeah. Red drum, unalive.
Unalived.
Yeah. I see Adam. Me and Adam going, ooh.
And I was like, when I talk and think, I like look up into my brain, so I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Yeah,
to see faces.
Right. You and I are on the same page though when it comes to a lot of theories with Delphi. Ivy, I know you and I have talked behind the scenes, and we share a lot of the same thoughts.
Skilled. Yeah.
I'm very Occam's razor-y. It's probably somebody who. Oh, I have a theory, and I don't want this to be offensive in any way, but I have a theory that people from Canada, because Canadians have their crime, well, at least from how I understand, your crime rate is so much lower than ours. Like, our crime rate is like crazy, right, compared to you guys?
Well, we only have a population though of 35 million versus like your guys is probably 350 million.
Cray.
True, but I want to say like I don't know. I don't want to say now because I don't want to be wrong. But okay, so my theory was based on if like the per capita rate was much higher here, especially with violent crimes.
Yeah. I would agree that you guys definitely have a lot more frequent violent crimes.
Right.
So I feel
like we let it out and y'all just keep it. You're crazy.
We're so much more used to like nonsensical violence with no reason. So we're like, yeah, he unalived them because he wanted to, and that's it. Where to, like, I don't know, and that's kind of sad if you think about it.
So you think he unalived them or skilled them, as Jeff is saying, that he skilled them? I like that actually, because he just wanted to. Is what you kind of think?
If it is him. Yes, but on the other hand, it's like that's kind of what my gut says. But on the other hand, like for all the cake and stuff, like what is the chance that like all that came out and like none of it's connected?
Exactly.
So it kind of like goes against each other.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Do you ever find yourself like thinking? Because I question that exactly. I'm like, what are the chances that this could happen and this could happen? And that both happened at the same time. Like what kind of? But then at the same time, I look at the totality of the 5.5 years we've all looked into, and then I'm like, well, if those two circumstances were to ever completely fall into line with each other, even if they have nothing to do with each other, it would be this case.
That's exactly how I think. That's exactly the line of thinking that I've gone down. Because you want to talk about. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I was gonna say I think you guys flop like fish.
No, but at the same time, I'm like, but logic tells me there's you have to look at the totality of everything, and I'm like, what are the chances that both of these things could happen at the same time? Like, what kind of luck is that? That's that's the impractical answer to everything.
Well, I'll tell you this, Sunny.
The practical answer is that that something fits into them all, both being connected.
Up until the Kagan stuff came out, I was lone wolf, targeted, yet not completely random, like targeted, but targeted from afar. Unalived very quickly, not moved more than, in the immediate area, not like taken somewhere and brought back. And not related to the family, and probably in the general local area, whether that meant in the actual town of Delphi or like say maybe in the county or surrounding counties, is where I was up until the Kagan stuff came out.
Oh, okay.
So where are you now then, like in relation to what you just said?
One sec.
Still very similar, but now a little more open to there being more of a, not as much like concretely in the lone wolf.
Okay.
And I used to be very no social media too because of what police said. But then the Kagan stuff brought that up too. So that's the other place I've changed.
So do you think it's still from afar, or do you think it's more direct?
I think from the girl's point of view, it is from afar. So if that means, I'm not saying this is how it went down, but just as a for example, it could be direct as in like the person is friends with one of their parents and that's how they saw one of the girls, but the girls didn't know them.
Right. But you do think that there's a connection between Kagan Klein and Richard Allen?
Oh, sorry. That's my gut.
So do you think there's a connection between? Sorry.
My gut says no, but like, I don't know. It just seems weird that there wouldn't be, like, from the information that we know.
Right.
If we had a list, Ivy, of everything that would be deemed as coincidental, that list would probably be about 30 things deep.
Yes. Well, sorry, go on.
Let me ask you, so if there's a connection between Richard Allen and Kagan Klein, why do you think nothing has been made public whatsoever about the connection yet?
Oh, because it's Indiana and that's how they do things, apparently.
I mean, we've heard tentacles. We've heard, the FBI thing is still up. We've heard all of these things that like allude to there being more to this
never looked
case.
at the FBI thing. It's still up.
Yeah. Last time I looked, it was, which was about 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to read into things too much, but I'm like, if you look at all of these things, I'm like, what, like, why do you have all of these things? You say there's, multiple bad actors, you say there's tentacles, and then you leave the FBI thing up, and then you allude to all these things, but then you say nothing. Because, I mean, to me, if you're a defense attorney, you're like, thank you at that point, because,
Look at the Idaho probable cause compared to...
Right.
That's crazy.
But I'm like, if you're in Delphi, I mean, you're the defense attorney, I would say thank you so much, because you've given no proof towards another person being involved, but you've said a million times there is another person involved.
Yeah, so
it's like all you've done is laid the groundwork for a defense attorney.
Yes.
Wow.
To put out reasonable doubt.
So it seems.
That's all we can go on.
But then look at Little Inquisitor's video today.
Well, do you watch it?
I did. It was just a small little video.
Yeah.
Inquisitor's video was basically a video that said that he had turned in a certain person, and he had a picture of it. It's on Inquisitor's channel there, and he turned in a person, and then he got a message back from the Abby and Libby tip line, basically wanting them like to tell more, I think it was. And so his thing was, well, if they're asking for more, then that leads him to believe that they're still searching for answers. And they,
just to confirm, because I didn't watch that, did it seem like he was saying that it was an actual person asking for more and not like some sort of like automated?
No, it wasn't
response?
an automated.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't an automated
It
response.
wasn't.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Okay. One thing while you do that, especially for people who haven't been following since the first, a lot of people always say, like, I don't believe in coincidences, but there are coincidences everywhere. One giant one is Daniel Nations. If you want to talk about coincidences, that man was found. So there was like rumors about a hatchet or something like that in the beginning. That man was found attacking people in like trails similar to Delphi's with a hatchet. He had, if I remember correctly, he had a previous like SAS related things, and his mother had been unalived. And when she was found, and I want to say he might have found her, she was buried under like sticks and leaves, which is what we heard about Libby.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he found her. I can't remember.
It was something like that. There was at least sticks and leaves involved.
Yeah.
And he was in Indiana around the time. I don't think he was able to do it. And then there was something else that was about that, but it was
same with Jerome Weiss.
Coincidental.
Or Weiss.
Yeah.
I mean, the circumstances around Jerome Weiss are just as coincidental.
That's the one who accidentally unalived his
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that there's something to be said about that one too.
I mean, that one. I mean, that's why I said if this was any other case, I would take a coincidence with a grain of salt. But with this case, I'm like, well, it's possible. Maybe there isn't any connection.
Yeah.
Because there's been so many coincidences.
Well, again,
Yeah.
You know what? Let me play this quickly, though.
Yeah,
let me just play this quickly, and we'll be right back.
Whatever. Fine. Whatever.
So this is by the Inquisitor.
On June 11, 2022, I tipped in an individual with some evidence of a person in a photo who may have been connected to said individual, and I got a response from the Abby and Libby tipline email address on June 13, 2022. On Wednesday, the 1st of February 2023, a detective for Indiana State Police emailed me wanting information about the individuals I mentioned previously nearly 8 months earlier. It's possible they have evidence another person or persons are involved, although I do have my doubts they know for a 100% fact that is the case. It's possible they're simply looking for more information on Alan and if any more witnesses were there at the bridge that day. The other person or persons involved may not have been involved in the way many people might think. It doesn't give me a great deal of confidence in Nick McClellan's statement that there's a possibility other persons are involved, considering they're asking me for information on individuals who may or may not have been at the bridge on February 13, 2017.
So
I'm Tom from ABC News with a mobile air defense unit. Effectively, they've got a giant.
There we go. Sorry about that.
I'm on my phone, so like the screen is, kind of small. When he showed the picture, do you know if on that hoodie did it say Outlaws? Was that an Outlaws biker club hoodie?
I'll take a look. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I wasn't watching.
Oh my! The other thing is, like, you go down, or at least I do, go down so many rabbit holes, whether I come out the other end believing it or not.
On June 11th, 2020.
Eventually, everything you see connects back to something because you've seen it all.
Right. 100%. That's what I said. If this was any other case, I wouldn't pay attention to the coincidences like I do in this case. But because it's Delphi, I'm like, well, that's possible.
Yeah, because I've seen outlaw stuff somewhere.
Well, there is definitely outlaw stuff because that's just a common thing, but that one,
like fiction. It's popular in that area.
Related to, in looking at Delphi things, I've seen outlaw stuff.
Yeah,
Outlaws to me is like kind of like affliction. It's a popular brand of or a style of clothing.
Yeah,
that people wear. What?
Is it a brand?
Is what a brand.
I don't know if it's a brand, outlaw, but it's definitely
it's a style.
a style. It definitely on a lot of gangs.
So it's not like say another type of gang where like you will get in trouble if you wear their stuff.
No,
I don't believe so.
It's a very
I believe it's more
generic.
like the guy that was wearing the Punisher shirt. I think it's more like kind of that kind of, it's kind of like that style.
Okay.
You've got like the people that just wear that stuff. And I believe they sell the outlaw stuff at Walmart even.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's just a very generic word.
Okay, never mind. Maybe
definitely used.
Is totally not there.
And then
there may be another meaning behind it, but I mean that my understanding of it is what I said.
Well, there's a motorcycle club in that area
called the Outlaws or whatever, and Garrett Kurtz is in, like, I think one of his things on his Facebook says the Outlaws or something.
Oh, really?
Don't talk about the cowboy that way.
Right. Heaven forbid he should come after me after he's got
they're not exactly down nice. They're not the 1%ers.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Thank you.
It's kind of like everyone out there too. A lot of times you look at people and they got the northern face, line of clothing on. That's kind of like, again, to me, reminds me of the Outlaws. It's just a very generic word that's put on a lot of shirts.
But that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I will say I didn't agree with him about now I can't remember what he said. He said something about if he doubts that McClelland has he doubts McClelland's statement that they think somebody else is involved because they're asking questions. To me, that would go along with that. That would like be supporting evidence in a way.
I think it's one of those things is that they don't have their ducks in a row.
Oh, I agree with that.
If they're asking still, oh, hey, tell me more,
Right.
But we all know from the press conference that, like I said, like they'll have us believe that, well, like we're going to leave the tip line up, because we want all these people that have information. Right. But it's not something that's normal or common. And again, it's one of those things. I absolutely do not believe that this is a solo act whatsoever. Whether Doug Carter uses the word tentacles and means it in a different way than what people construe it as. Either way, Kegan Kline had some charges dropped. We know that. I believe he was in negotiations. He's probably in. There's something to be said about this whole trickle effect from the Wabash search to Kegan Kline to, next thing you know, Richard Allen's being charged. It's just, the whole, people always use the word like totality. It's just so unbelievable if this would have nothing to do with each other, because why would he change his Facebook to February 13th? Why? You're so innocent, dude.
That's true.
Why would you use that 13th? You wouldn't need to.
I'm not, I'm friends with the Inquisitor. And so I'm not going to speak for Rudy, but I will say, for anyone that's tipped, Sonny might be able to attest to this, but anyone that's tipped anything in to the Abby and Libby tip line, I'm gonna go out on a reach and say that 99% of the people that have tipped anything in have not gotten any response.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that what piqued probably and I don't know, he's not told me this. I'm speculating, but I would assume what's piqued his interest in making this video is that he got a response, because I know he's tipped in a few things, and I'm assuming that what made him make this video was that he got a response to one of his tips,
which makes sense.
Of course put his antenna up, and so that's probably what made him think, oh, they're still looking for info.
Can I tell you my my theory? I don't know if I call it a theory. My ponderings, if it is related to Kegan Kline.
Sure. Of course.
I wonder if they were desperate. They went back to Kegan Kline, all that, blah, blah, blah. Then they were hounding him, like we saw in those transcripts, like, basically, we know it wasn't you. Tell us who it is. Then, and then he was also probably, like, let's say he doesn't know a name. He was probably wishing he knew a name so he could get a deal and get less time. So he eventually is like, okay, well, there was this person, but I don't know their like real life identity. I just know them online, kind of like how we know each other. Like, you guys don't know my real name, but you know me, and it probably doesn't even like occur to you because I'm just Ivy Rose to you. And like, just like, you know, I mean, I know your first name is Adam, but I don't know anything else about you. You know, and that's just how it is online. So especially if you're dealing with csam type things, I could see how they would all keep their identities kind of to themselves. So let's say that he told them that, he's like, but I don't know who this person is. So then he said, you know, maybe I dropped some stuff off in the river. So then they go search the river. If it was like an electronic thing, like say it was like, I don't know, a phone or like a thumb drive or whatever. And
it was
then,
a phone.
Was it a phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So then maybe they use that, and they
From
use
my knowledge,
their investigative tools to track down that person from the electronic footprint left.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they got to Richard Allen. And it wasn't from when starting back in the very first.
Right. I mean, I agree 100% with what you're saying, except until you get to the part where I don't believe that they found Richard Allen through Keegan Klein.
Okay.
And I'm pretty confident in that, but I don't know.
Do you have a theory if they are connected? Do you have a theory how?
I would love to know that answer. And Sunny, that's why Sunny, I'm sure, said flip flopper earlier, because she knows, like, behind the scenes, like, I go back and forth. Like, one day I'll be like, oh no, I think they're connected, and the next day I'm like, no, I don't think they are. I think he's a lone wolf. But I mean, at the end of the day, I have to think of logic. To me, says there can't be that many coincidences in one case. I mean, those girls could not have had that bad of luck that they were suffering from the attack of two different assaults at one time. So, I mean, I feel like there has to be a connection between Keegan Klein and Richard Allen, and I think it just makes the most logical sense that it would be somehow through csam. But have I seen any proof of that? No. And trust me, Sunny and we've looked. You know, I think everyone on YouTube's looked. I've heard inklings of it, and I've heard rumors, but I've seen nothing with my own eyes. Have you, Sunny?
No. Like I said, the only even closest connection online really is the fact that that one drop on one of his bookings that said his alias was Craig Renfro.
Right.
And if you look at Craig Renfro, that can easily tie back to all of those people.
Right.
Should have come to fruition, but
and they kept the name they kept the Craig Renfro name on the public records for quite a while. I think they've taken it down now.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
I don't know.
It's been down for a while.
Yeah, but they kept it on there for a while, which I was surprised by, because.
But again, it always falls in line with the fact of what were the chances that this Craig Renfro name comes up, right. And then it has the Cottrells, it has Cunningham, it has all these same players that are to do with some of the other unalivings, and then it can go back over to the Klein side. Now remember, the Cottrells lived within a block of the Keegan Klein house. Mm. You know, there's so many different aspects. Why was Julian Powell on the bridge on the 12th? Julian Powell fixed the computers for the Kleins. You know, like, there's just so many loose ends and so many what ifs and whatever. But when it comes to Richard Allen, his what we're seeing for his social media presence is very nominal. And it's so nominal that really you come to just dead ends every which way you go, because unless he was underneath of a different name totally, it's kind of even, you know what? I found it very interesting that a name such as Koberger was even hard to find. There was something very odd about that. The name Koberger is not a simple name. And yet, when you looked up on Intellius or different places, it was really actually hard to find the information, because normally the only one that came up, I believe, was the sister a little bit, but it wasn't even showing relative attachment.
Brian's sister or the dad's sister?
Brian's sister.
Well, you can request them to take that information down. You have to do it regularly.
Right. Especially if you have a Discover card, you can take them down from 10 different websites.
Mm-hmm. Now, as for this on here, so to be honest with you, this is looking a little different than it was when I originally saw this. So when I originally saw this on screen of the February 13th to 2000, there was a distinct difference here. So if I take this down for a second, I go, let me just go to Facebook for a sec. Okay, let me just see if it looks the same here. Okay.
Exactly.
When I first saw this here, can you guys see that actually? Yeah. I know you guys can't see it as well as we can. Let me do it like this. So when I had first come over and looked at this, and now don't forget, I didn't even start looking at this case till 2.5 years, 3 years ago, no, 2.5 years ago now. But there was a distinct line in here as well, where there was another insertion right in here. And you can tell it was almost like having, how it looks here, it looks fine, it looks clean. Well, there was a distinct line of two of them that were in the same box in a sense. And it was very odd. You're not seeing it now for whatever reason, but there was another.
Could it be on the I don't know what it's called, the wall, like where it has like the thing that says like Kagan started a job, blah blah blah?
No, it was on this part of it. But I know what you're saying. But it was you could tell it was a whole insertion. Now, probably he did this after the fact for the fact of he probably didn't think about it until after the fact, to be honest, because people totally lose track and have no concept of their social media presence, like the footprinting that they're leaving behind them. Like I said, that's where they get careless, because there's so much data in your computer, but there's so much places that people forget that they even made sites to, along the way, whether it was a MySpace or a Google account or this account. And people seem to forget that, but he would have changed this after the fact, in my eyes, if I recall correctly. But
if that did change, and I think I'm understanding you, who do you think would have done that? Because that would have been while he was in jail.
No, that would have been not too long after the unlivings.
I mean, like because we wouldn't have been looking at his Facebook until he was in jail, because it was when the Anthony Schott stuff came out, right?
Correct. But this would have been done like before. I can't say exactly sure, Abby. I don't want to sit here and put it out there like I know the answer to that, but it's kind of like the client said that they were in Vegas, and the LE basically believed that their story, and then they realized, oops, maybe they should go fact check that. So that probably would have changed sometime after, not too long after the unliving would have happened.
If it had changed from, how like you said it looked different, I was talking about that part, like not the 13th part, but if it had changed since like we looked at it.
I don't, you know what, I just know when I went to go personally look at it, when Kagan Klein came out, there was a distinct, like that's when we found out about Kagan Klein, and there was a distinct like double line in there. It was the weirdest thing, because normally everything flows down, whatever. But in that particular case, there was this odd line where it was almost like having two employments in the same box. And it was
you're almost like ringing a bell for me. I hope the police are at least monitoring his social media accounts to see if anybody like logs in and does anything while he's in jail.
Oh, I'm sure he was being, I mean, I don't know. I always say that, and then in my head I'm going, but if they're so careless and sloppy with this case, like Like, I just always remember things like a friend of mine had said, and he would say, you basically got to hold their hand and take them to things, meaning the LE, because it's like, if you don't do that, then like, it's like, and this is in Colorado, that it's almost like, unless you're holding their hand, you know, to make sure that they're following up. Because, okay, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, wasn't it Max Snowberger's phone that they never ever looked at?
I don't believe they've ever looked at Max. I don't believe they've ever looked at Max Snowberger's phone.
Right? Why not? Why wouldn't you have? You know, he spoke to Libby the night before.
This Delphi. Why a million things?
Let me tell you this.
They looked at hers.
I don't know what, you know, in the US, like every state is different, so it makes things weird. And I'm not in Indiana, so, you know, it could be different. But I am from a town so Delphi's like, what, 3,000 people? I'm from a town that's about 1,500. They're very similar in size.
Right.
Delphi's about 3,000. Police officer in the town I grew up in, all you needed was a high school diploma and a cleat certification that took about 2 weeks. Like, if there was a murder in my hometown, unless like the state police came in and just took over, like, good luck.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's not like nefarious. It's just that they don't have that training.
Well, you know, I mean, clearly Carroll County has a plethora of, you know, unsavory behavior. So.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think with Delphi and the Delphi case, I think that there's a lot of political corruption that goes on. I think there's a lot of back scratching and hiding, doing dirty things, you know, absolutely. You can see it, you can smell it, you can, the people that live in Delphi go on and on about it. I know through Tierra, you know, about the different things of the corruptions, again, lawyers, mayors, judges, and stuff like that. And all these people that you think are
lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my, right? Where's Auntie M? Where's Auntie M when I need her?
Sorry.
But that's exactly it. And so it's not that I think that the case has been purposely fudged up, you know, on purpose. But I think that within the system, there's a lot of dirty people. And I know some of those dirty people's names. And those people wouldn't want this type of stuff to surface.
Right.
Because they would be involved in some of these rings or these SA rings, rings and stuff like that. And those are the people that wouldn't want to bring attention if it's intertwined. You know, it's one thing if Delphi is just Delphi by itself, and then it's another thing if it's intertwined within the whole Keg and Klein thing, or just in general. I think that there's a lot of uncovering of dirt, and I there's a big part of me that feels like I hope so. Either they're useless as two tits on a bull at the end of the day, and we're not going to see justice, or else I think a lot of us maybe be shocked when the truth does come out and a lot more names and things come out dropping with it. I think of Doug Carter's words and all that about tentacles. I think about when they say that they're going to have to hire like 60 to 80 people.
But what are they waiting for?
You know, well, that's just it though.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, you know, are we creating this narrative that there's got to be a plot twist because of those words?
When they said that there's a lot of families that are going to be hurt when the truth comes out, those are things implying.
Well, I agree. Look at all the other things they've said that didn't. I mean, okay, they gave us old bridge guy.
I know.
They gave us young bridge guy. They gave us not today. It's not today. It's not today. They gave us, you know.
Day.
If you look at all of the statements law enforcement has made in this case, I mean, 10% of it is what we're actually working with today.
Yeah.
So, how do we know that all of those statements aren't just the same? I mean, if you really want to look at the tentacles and the totality of it all,
it's the police.
are we just looking at all of these things that, like, we're hearing their words and we're taking them verbatim, but they're not going to come to fruition, and we're the fools for just sitting here talking about it.
Well, no, they're the idiots for why this.
You know what I mean,
right? But no, absolutely right. What's your thoughts there, Ivy?
I have an unpopular opinion that usually people do not agree with me about. I don't listen to a damn word that comes out of Carter's mouth. Not that he's lying. I think he's just full of a lot of words. And I don't think any of them mean anything. I don't think they're planned out, like with the FBI, like everything has a meaning. I think he just talks. And when I came to that conclusion was when I heard him talk about Flora, and he said the exact same thing.
Right. Same wording, same. Right. It's like a broken record.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I agree with you, Sonny. At the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, I think it's important to. I 100% think that everyone involved in the investigation want this crime solved. I don't think anyone wants someone to go unpunished.
Well, besides people that are involved, yeah.
I just think that there's incompetence that's taken place, and I don't think it's been intentional. But I think that, one, there's been too many hens in the hen house, and two, I think they've been too close to the vest, and that it's led to, I know Ivy and Sonny we've all talked about this, that it's led, I think that's what's led to this wild amount of speculation throughout this case. That's just my own personal belief.
Yeah. I had a thought, and then I looked at Jeff's comment, and I thought my thought's back, Jeff. He says, is strongest thing they have the unfired, unspent casing that linked to a gun belonging to Alan. Well, from an outsider looking in, that would be the strongest link.
Right.
But as Adam has told us before, and this, we don't want to call it fact, but we want to put it out there because it's from a very reliable source, is that there was a fired spent casing that was
at his house
in his backyard, and that one matches the gun as well to the same as the unspent casing. Right. And then on top of that, about the cat hair as well, because obviously,
and also we don't know what's been recovered from the search warrant, as far as, like, we know some things that, I've been told a few things, but we don't know the forensics on the vehicle. We don't know about any forensics they found on any clothing at the house. We don't know if there were any souvenirs he may have kept. So the state could have damning evidence.
He still had that car, right?
Yes.
There's no way in hell unless he had that car like dextered out in plastic.
Right.
There's no way that he would have gotten all that stuff out.
Because if it's believed he was seen bloody and muddy, the DNA can be taken for up to 30 years, I believe. And there's no way he got into that vehicle, sat down, and even if he drove 3 minutes down the road, he would have transferred DNA from the crime scene, from the girls, from himself, in that vehicle on that day, that would still be there today.
Yeah,
absolutely. In my opinion.
I remember because you're not a lot of people aren't gun people, and I remember there being a conversation about how would a spent casing get in the backyard? Like, he's not shooting guns in the backyard. But I have
it's Delphi.
Potential explanation for that. So when you go shooting, some people they'll what is that called? Like where you repack your bullets so you can use them again. And sometimes you just don't want to leave casings everywhere. So people put casings in their pocket. They have casings in their shooting bag. It could have.
Or what if you go clean your gun in the backyard and you've got a spent casing still in there?
But they pop out usually. But there's all sorts of. I could look in my house right now and probably find 5 somewhere.
Oh,
you know.
well, what are you guys doing at home, Ivy?
We have somebody who has an addiction is what we have.
I mean, it's as simple as, to me, it's as simple as, it's Delphi. I grew up in a small rural town in the Midwest. People fired guns in their backyard, whether or not in the city limits it was legal or not. People did it, and it wasn't something that anyone took as weird. And to me, it's not something that's weird.
It's way more weird to me that the unspent casing was found out there than that a spent casing was found somewhere.
Right.
Between the girls.
Yeah. And like I said, and we don't know. I mean, can you imagine if Libby or Abby's DNA was in that vehicle? That's a smoking gun. They don't need any of this.
That's true.
They don't need any of this other DNA or any of this other information. And while we've always heard this is not a DNA case, we've always heard that before they processed that vehicle and before they went in on that search warrant. We don't know if they found the jacket he was wearing, if they found any of the clothing from that day, the boots, anything. There could be DNA on any bit of clothing from that day.
Oh, have you ever heard?
That would be a smoking gun, and we would have no knowledge of that at this point.
Yes.
Nor should we.
Have you ever heard of a condom wrapper?
The what?
Have you ever heard of a condom wrapper?
Is that a trick question?
I was going to say.
So,
I mean, I'm familiar with the term.
Have you ever heard of it in relation to Delphi?
I have, yeah.
I can't remember the specifics about this. Usually, so I took a break for like 6 months and like all the information fell out of my head.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Okay. So I hate to say his name, but I'm almost positive it came from a Gray Hughes live stream. And I tend to trust Gray's sources because he typically has very good sources and he doesn't put out false information typically. And I
agree with that intentionally. He does not intentionally.
Yes. And don't anybody quote me on this, but I want to say that it came from somebody who, if I'm remembering correctly, had a sibling who was working on the case. And they talked to him, and then he was trying to explain what this person alluded to. And the way I understood it was that potentially, allegedly, there was an act, there was maybe SA, but not in the way that you think, and there was an act done in that he used a condom to not leave DNA, but accidentally left part of the wrapper.
I've heard that. I don't personally believe it because I think it would have been in the affidavit for Richard Allen's arrest, because they would have wanted to get a DNA sample from him from that. And if you think about,
Have they not gotten one?
Well, no, of course they have. But I mean, if you think about, if you read that affidavit, if you look back at it and read it, there's nothing in it that makes a direct argument for getting DNA from him. I mean, of course they're going to get DNA once they arrest him. Or once.
Why would there be DNA on it, though? It wouldn't be more like a smudged fingerprint?
Well, that technically is DNA as far as, I mean,
I don't think touch.
Wrapper.
I mean, I don't think touch DNA is I don't think it's very reliable to get like sources enough to. Which that.
I just don't take much credence into it because I think we would have heard more about it at this point.
I'm not confident about it.
I'm not discounting the fact that it may have happened, because I do think that he may have done what you're alluding to.
Yeah, I'm going to insert. So I have not heard of that, and I don't even go down that line because I myself feel like that's going to be one of those far-fetched things for me personally.
Out of all the things, you think that's far-fetched?
Yeah. I don't think this has anything to do with. Pardon?
That's so not you interesting. Like, I'm in the mental health field, so like I always think about the way people think is very interesting. So it's interesting how like we can all see the same thing and like have such different opinions. Oh, absolutely. About it.
There's definitely a lot of.
I think it's far-fetched that he would do that.
To what? To pull it a wrapper and do that? Yeah, it's definitely nothing. Like, there's a lot of people that might go down this whole essay assault thing, and that's the reason for it. I absolutely am not one of those people that believe that this was such a essay motivated thing. I still am on more of the
yeah, I guess that would make sense if because you're about the drug revenge.
And about the drugs and the revenge. Now, it's not that I don't look at it, but I have not heard about the rapper thing that you're speaking of.
It was a very early.
Yeah. I just, I myself just fail to see that, because I feel like if that were the case, there would be DNA. Definitely that they would have had probably some DNA out of it, whatever. I just, that's why I always veer off that, because I just feel like that usually if someone is assaulted, that probably definitely there would have been some DNA.
I don't think one of the girls was assaulted.
I don't think they were essayed in the normal sense.
Right. But you think that he was, spanking the monkey and whatever, perhaps. And
well, to me, if I look at an insult, or I look at, no, I'm not saying he's an insult, but if I look at any sort of, I mean, I've always thought this was a S motivated crime. I've always thought that, that. And I actually think that, even if there's a revenge aspect, I think a perpetrator can have multiple, I think they can have, they can have a catalyst to what, causes them to commit the crime. And I think they can have an underlining reason for doing it. So, I think
the majority of crimes like that have some sort of S aspect, even if there's not an assault.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes men will find an outlet to fulfill their, S fantasy. Not every man, of course, but like if there's something off in their, kink or their fetish or fantasy, that they'll find some reason to then fulfill it. And so I've never thought that was odd that, he might have,
Yeah, you know what? It enters my brain, and as fast as it comes in there, I don't really entertain that too much, just because I just don't. I try, and I know I listen to what Alexa feels like, and these things, and when my gut doesn't kind of guide me a certain way, I just kind of follow where my gut takes me. Doesn't mean I'm right.
What about when my gut takes me one way?
I know, right? So it's one of those things, is that there's so many what ifs, could be's. I just want to say something. Verbal judo. You're saying can't sleep. I'm furious with myself, but cannot talk about it. You're an idiot. I just want to ask you, verbal judo. Is that because you were on Graz's channel today?
Honey,
is that why?
Verbal judo.
No, but is that what you're talking about? Because I never go there, and I just happened to go there because it said something about Greeno, and I clicked on it, and then you had called in. Is that what you're speaking about? Not that it's all good, but I'm just wondering if that's why you're saying that comment, or if it's something totally random.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't feel bad. I mean, like I said, I'm sorry, but he's like of the utmost hypocrisy right there. What part do you feel bad about, though? You called in. Yeah. No, it's just basically Verbal said to her, like, Graz, like, why are you at the center of all these other creators? Like, meaning, don't you think that there's a common denominator there? And of course, Graz, he just tries to shovel manure people's way. And, the thing is that he's the most double standard, hypocritical person that I don't want to say that I've ever come across, but he's up there with full of himself and full of it, because what he does to people, he creates his own mess. Okay, so he literally sits there and takes clippings from YouTube creators like myself, tries to slice them and dice them and make it look like creators are saying something, and then he cries wolf. And it just is so laughable to me. And he acts like he's the police patrol of the do-gooders. Dude, you are so far from a do-gooder ever, and the hypocrisy of it all. So if that's why you're feeling bad about because you called into the show, then don't.
So he did a live about Greeno?
Correct. Well, yeah, like, I mean, I only was there I just basically had come in, and within a minute, Verbal Judo had called in.
And what kind of info would he have? Nothing.
Right. And
I mean,
right,
what do people want to know?
You know,
right?
I don't know. I'm glad this is going on. Can't sleep. Oh, there you go.
Greeno's getting out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Retribution, same. One of the girls, absolutely, she was. And then her top half, Libby's, was covered in leaves and twigs. But again, you can't forget that within all of this as well. Hi, Andrew. Within all of this as well, that remember that they keep saying that the crime scene was lead to misdirect. So if you still kind of have that in there, why?
Do you remember where that was from? I've been trying to figure that out for a while.
Ives.
What?
Ives.
Yeah.
I remember it, but like I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, Robert Ives. It's in an article.
Dead Mountain 11 or 12.
So my thing is this. So Libby is got no clothes on. She got sticks and twigs hanging from the top. If you were involved to me in any sort of pedo ring or SA type of ring, why would you then lead yourself to have Ellie look into that? You would want them to go so far the opposite direction.
Right.
That's what a signature is, though. It's something that they do that doesn't have to do with it's not required or necessary for the unaliving, but it's something they have to do psychologically and almost like compulsively. And they can't, it's almost like they can't control it in a way.
A signature is personal for them.
Yeah.
For the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
I hope I'm doing Alexa proud here.
The other question is, like, did Ives really know what
he was
the
talking
for real
about?
Definition? And if
absolutely.
it was more a layman's.
Well,
that's fair.
The bottom line still is that there's a difference between getting your words mixed up and knowing that the crime scene was meant to misdirect, to make them look one way when it was basically like that saying, right? When your left hand's doing this, the right hand's doing this.
I agree, but
wait, are we still talking about the okay?
But a signature, because there could be both. Like he could have made it look a certain way to get them off track, and then also had his signatures. But a signature, by definition, is Alexa here in the chat? Yeah. I think by definition, like, you couldn't make a signature make something look deceptive because it would have to be true. Does that make any sense?
Right. It does to me.
That was a bunch of gibberish, but
because it would also supersede anything else, because it would fulfill that personal satisfaction that they were gonna have.
Mm-hmm. I just
in their mind.
Yeah. For me, like I said, it's anyone's guess at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Here's a question I have for Alexa. And this could just be my ignorance, I would assume that there would have to be another crime prior to make something a signature. Because how do you know it's a signature?
Alexa would. I can't explain that, but Alexa could. Because typically you don't have a signature until there's multiple crimes committed.
Mm-hmm. If I was gonna,
I know that there's a stipulation to that where you can understand a signature even if there's not, but I don't remember the details right now. It's
what if the misdirection was to put something out and make it look like
non-secular?
Right.
Oh, I have feelings about non-secular too. I don't know. Well,
was that the misdirection?
Well, okay, I used to think that was my original thing. Was did people make it look like a quote unquote satanic ritual thing?
Because that obvious of a misdirection would clearly make Ives think that it was a signature, even if it wasn't technically a signature.
The question I have now, though, was did he ever actually say that? Because why would you say that's my biggest question. Why would you say non-secular and not religious?
No, he said it. You can watch it on the.
She's saying, why would you?
Who did you do the interview with?
I thought he did an interview. It was a written interview, and she had it in the article.
Yes.
And then right after it went away, and I wondered if like she had misunderstood him. Later,
that didn't go away. That article's still there.
No, not the article. The word. That's why it was. Weird. The word got deleted. Like very.
Non-secular did?
Yes.
It's not still on the video he did?
I don't think it was on video. I thought it was a written one.
Okay, there was a written article that he talks about the non-seculars. He was also in an interview. I think people kind of get that confused because there was the interview one, and then there's the article one. And the article one is when he talks about the crime scene and how that anyone would want to take pictures about it being non-secular.
It was something you'd want to take pictures of.
Yeah, I remember that. It was just specifically the non-secular word because it's a weird word.
The non-secular was in the video.
You know what? I'd have to go back to it, but
I mean, it was an 8-minute video. I can't remember, but I could be wrong.
Well, give me a second and let me see if I can find the article.
I thought the reason the non-secular stuck out so much was that the article was published, and then not long after it was published, it was edited, and that was removed. And one of my questions was always, why would you use the word non-secular instead of religious? Because the natural word to use is religious. And maybe instead of because the way everybody always thought it happened was that was off.
Because it was misdirection.
Or what is it? Misdirection. What's the word when it's off the record? If that was off the record and he called her and was like, hey, that was supposed to be off the record.
Right. Well, yeah, off the record. You have it right.
So then my question was, well, what if she just misunderstood what he was saying, and so then he called him and was like, "That's not what I meant."
See,
if there's a video, I would love to see the video.
I thought it was in the video.
Well, no,
Deb said it was, but I mean,
there is a video, but
to me, the non-secular thing to me that was the thing when he went. That was to me the sign of misdirection.
Let's see here. Okay, you were quoted as saying that the evidence of the crime was odd. What do you mean by that?
I'm not as sharp as I was before. I
was going to say,
and it's also been a while. All of it. Sonny and I have talked about that a few times. Recently, where we're like, oh wait, I remember this, but I'm like, oh wait, I should remember that, but I mean. Our senses have dulled a little bit since Rich Allen got arrested because we haven't had to constantly look into some of this as much.
Yeah. Just trying to, you know what, let's just go through this for a second. Just a reminder and a refresher to people. So Ives from Ives' perspective, crime scenes in Carroll County are generally routine. He says it's usually pretty clear from the jump who did what, but that's not the case here. Barbara, you quoted as saying that the evidence or the crime scene was odd. What do you mean by odd? Ives says, well, in one sense, any murder scene is probably odd.
Is that Barbara McDonald? Sorry.
It just says Barbara. So I'm thinking Barbara McDonald. But I'm not. Down the Hill podcast. So that's Barbara McDonald's, right? Down the Hill podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
Andrew is the other co-host.
Okay. So Robert Ives says, well, in one sense, any so we'll say unliving scene is probably odd. But again, this is where I have difficulty because I'm not sure what all has been released. There were a variety of things at the scene of the crime where I guess I would ask you to talk to the state police about that. They have to decide what's going to be released and what's not going to be released. It was just not your normal person. A person was unalived here crime scene. That's probably all I can say about that. Then Andrew, the host, says, maybe you could answer that in a more general way without being specific. This crime scene. We have our ideas about what a typical crime scene is. A person was blanked in the head, a bullet casing is here. What to you would make an unusual or odd crime scene? And then Robert Ives says, I follow along with your example. The very first case I handled as a prosecuting attorney back in 1987 and 88, a fellow shot, his wife in Deer Creek, Indiana. He pinned her up against the refrigerator, blanked her in the back of the head. She fell on the floor. He blanked her twice, more in the chest. So you had an unalived person with 3 bullets in them. They were unalived. He was seen at the scene. Things like that. All I can say about the situation with Abby and Libby is that there was a lot more physical evidence than at that crime scene. And it's probably not what you would imagine or what people would think I'm talking about. It's probably not. And so because of the unique circumstances, which all unique circumstances of a crime are sort of a signature, you think, well, this is unusual fact would lead to somebody, or that unusual fact might lead to somebody. I wish I could tell you, but again, that's up to the state police. There was nothing that seems similarly identical that you would think, well, this is modus operandi. I don't know if you're familiar with the term modus operandi, where sometimes criminals will commit a crime in such a way where it's so distinct that it acts as sort of a signature to them. Andrew says, well, was there a signature at his crime? Like, would you characterize something as a signature, like without telling us what it is? I would say that there were 2 or 3 things. I'd say at least 3. Okay, hold on a second. Can I go back to that? It says, was there a signature in his crime? Okay, in his crime, referring to the one Ives was talking about. So, like, would you characterize a signature? And then Ives is saying, I would say that there are 2 or 3 things. I'd say at least 3. So, when I read that now, it's like he's answering to the question of, asking the question of, in his crime.
It's crazy what, I swear I get something new every time I read something.
Well, because
right.
As I'm reading this, Andrew's literally saying, was there a signature in his crime? Like you would characterize something as a signature, like without telling us what it is. So that question is referring back to the case that he's talking about in 87 and 88. And then Robert Ives says, I would say there were 2 or 3 things. I'd at least say 3. So that's actually not referring to Abby and Libby's case.
I could see
you
that.
Don't think?
No, that's referring to the case that he was referring to, because he said,
right,
was there a signature in his crime without telling us, in a sense. And then he's referring back to that case saying 2 or 3, whereas I think we've always taken it as that it was to do with Abby and Libby, 2 or 3 things.
Right.
Which
someone should ask Robert Ives now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's that type of person that only talks to certain people, because he definitely doesn't answer my messages.
Come on, Gray.
Yeah. Asking
talk to Matt Sullivan for a little bit.
Yeah. Not a Sullivan lover myself here. But so let me just continue for a second. So asking Barb's question in a different way, even if there aren't any active cases out there that you can say, yeah, this is like this. Are there any other generally famous cases or unalivings that you can compare this to? And he said, yeah, I'm not the best history or serial person, but I will say this. Initially, I thought, and I think most people thought, and I still think, that it was probably somebody local, because this is not just a tourist spot. It's just not somewhere where anyone would be lurking. It's such an unlikely place to be. You've all been there. It's not that famous. It's not like people come in there and hang out. Well, maybe I'll catch 2 girls here by themselves. I tend to think it was a local. I still tend to think it's a local, but even though was starting to change his mind later on in 2019. But a part of me also, as other people speculated, thinks maybe it was a random person. Maybe it is a SK, and it's a horrible thing, but part of me hopes we'll catch somebody committing some other crime, or having committed basically another crime. Just trying to see where we're talking about, because I'm just trying to look for these secular things.
The non-secular was with a different reporter. I'm almost positive it's not Barbara McDonald.
Well, it could have been on the one where he was sitting on the chair, and I think it was was it an Inside Edition or a Fox? I remember it because I always get a copyright claim on it whenever I play it. And I think it was, so I can't remember if it was Fox or News Nation. It was one of those bigger ones, because there's one channel that always...
News Nation's been pretty recent in their covering of Delphi, I think.
No. Fox has been the main hub in a lot of ways, and W, you know, like, but it was a bigger station that is playing the one with Ives, and he's sitting in a chair, and I think that she's like an Asian lady that's interviewing him as he's talking, because you can see all the pores in his skin. I always remember that he had very bad lighting.
I can like picture it now. He's got like a gray shirt on.
Let's see here. Well, there are two things. I'm just trying to see if there's anything, because okay, I meant there were a few search warrants. There weren't so many search warrants, but there was a lot of subpoenas. In this case, we were trying to get cell phone locations and a number of cell phones or identities of cell phones, things like that, and similar during the time period. We cranked out a lot like that, but it didn't lead to anything significant. That's about the cell phone pay. You know what? I'm going to give you guys this article for people, because when I'm trying to scroll through something here too fast, I'm looking for a certain thing. But I was looking for the part where it says like it's something that someone would want to take a picture of.
Oh,
anyway.
CBS 4 Indie. Let me send you this. This might just be a clip of it.
There's a link to that one if anyone does want to. Hello, Sunny. Check the link I sent.
I Facebooked you a link.
Let's see. 1 second here, guys. Hey, I read that, and then we went green. Whatever, stupid thing.
Yeah, like a little bit further down in that interview, I just wanted to read the part where Andrew says, "You mentioned that, especially in the early days, you were involved with drafting a lot of affidavits for search warrants. Can you put some sort of number on how many you were involved in?" Robert Ives says, "Dozens. I mean, a lot. There were a few search warrants. There weren't so many search warrants, but there were lots of subpoenas. In this case, we were trying to get cell phone locations or numbers of cell phones or identities of cell phone numbers, things like that, and similar things during that period of time. We cranked out a lot of that, but it didn't lead to anything significant." I'm always fascinated by the search warrant. So, because, you know, we've been told there were over a dozen search warrants, and we only know of 3 of them. So, as of that point, we know of 4 of them now, but we know of Bicycle Bridge Road, we know of the Kleins, and we know of Ron Logan's at that point, and now we know of Richard Allen's.
Do you think they had to have search warrants, or at least got them for like the videos, like the surveillance videos from places?
And like Apple. Lewis thinks that. Lewis has said that he thinks that some of the search warrant affidavits were from businesses. I personally don't know if they needed those or if they had to have those. It doesn't mean they didn't get them, but
yeah, I don't know either way.
I would just like to know, where were those dozen search warrants or search warrant affidavits requested for?
Just quickly. So I'm not going to play it, you guys, because Fox 59 News, they always come back and ding you, and then you get a copyright claim, which isn't a copyright strike, it's just a claim. And then you got to edit it from your video. So I'm not even going to bother to play it, because this one always gets one whenever I add it into a video. So, but that's just to show you that one that is at the Fox News, and Deb dropped the link and Ivy put the link in the thing, but it's the same link for the same one. So just so you know that that's the one, you guys can go watch that one there. but I'm not going to play that one. Mm-hmm. Just for that reason. It always gets a thing where I have to go edit it out of the video. There's certain ones that Fox News, especially, they're really picky about the use of their videos and stuff like that, and certain things that they deem as exclusives and stuff like that. I could probably sit there and be like, fair use, blah, blah, blah. I just couldn't be asked, so I just usually edit it out of the video. But it's time consuming, so I'm not even going to waste my time, considering you guys can just go watch that yourselves. I've watched it probably about 15 times, but I haven't watched it about 5 months, 4 months, something like that. I usually go back to it at some point because I kind of get the article and that interview intertwined in my head a bit.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly certain that specifically the non-secular word was only used in print.
Yeah, and it might very well be in that. It would have been in that article, I believe, though. But again,
I'm trying to look for it because we did when HCC first started, we did a show on his channel where we went through and we read every Ives transcript, and I cannot find the file that I have with all those in there.
Mm-hmm. To
answer, one thing he does say about the crime scene is he was asked. Andrew says one thing that Sergeant Bradley told us is the crime scene was complicated in that there are people out there searching. We didn't even think of that. Like maybe someone spit, whatever. And obviously we knew the crime scene is huge. It starts at the bridge, which we've heard from Dirk Carter. It starts at the bridge. It goes to where the bodies were found. Even just generally, have you ever dealt with a crime scene that large with that many complicating factors before? And Robert Ives said, as I've told you, I've only dealt with a few unaliving cases, but generally an unaliving crime scene here has always been in a room. It's been in a place. So I can't recall one that had a big outdoor circumstance away from a house. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You're right. Those are some factors. And whatever Sergeant Riley says, it is so. Kim Riley is an excellent police officer, and that's also true. The crime scene is unquestionably contaminated. Most crime scenes are contaminated to a certain point.
Okay.
So, right there, Robert Ives talks about the crime scene being contaminated.
Yeah.
And how many people had been over the crime scene at the time and how contaminated it was.
Mm-hmm. Just a question, you guys, there's 38 likes and there's 77 people watching. Do you guys think that you guys could hit that like button for us, please? The ones that are in here, if you guys could do that, that would be great.
Another thing I think we forget about is Ives. Yes, he was there when the crime happened, obviously, but he retired not that long after.
In 2018.
And we always think about Ives being like the main prosecutor, but he was there for a very short amount of time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was there for 10 or 11 months. I think he retired in January of 2018, if I remember right. Because, January 20-something is when the new prosecutor would have taken over. Whatever the date is in Indiana that all of the state, it's the same day that like Liggett took over or any of the other people took over. It's some day in January.
I think I found it.
You guys, I'm just quickly going to answer Kelt's question. Sonny, how does a creator know which videos you can use or which you can't? Well, to be honest with you,
they get notice.
You don't really know. You just kind of do it, and if it gets a copyright claim, then you just edit it out of there. But typically, you try to stay away. If you can stay away from the bigger stations, that's usually your best bet. But when I go to channels, I see them pulling up Fox and News Nation all the time, and I use Fox and News Nation quite often too. But then there's just some that get a copyright. Like it could be 3 months down the road, and all of a sudden by that time you don't care because you've already hit the mark if you're a monetized channel. So who cares if that's not in it anymore? But it's just one of those things, is that you try to go to the more of the Creme 2 News or WTHR. You try to go to those ones and try to stay away from the bigger ones if another channel has it, just so you can try to avoid that. But it's just one of those things is that there's, you could sit there and say it's fair use and stuff like that, and you'd probably win. But why do you want to give yourself that headache of turning
especially
your video
over something people have heard a million times?
Exactly.
But can I read one more thing really quickly? Because this is just after reading the affidavit and knowing about Rich Allen, this is something that's interesting to me. Robert Ives says, and this is a quote: "Someone may have seen this person leaving the crime scene or going to the crime scene, but we've never been able to put that information together with enough evidence to show who that person was and that they committed this crime." And those are two things that we saw in the affidavit, that he was seen going to the crime scene and he was seen leaving the crime scene.
Holman said in he has like what was that, the McAdams interview? He said that they don't know how he left in that interview.
Well, I mean, we know in the affidavit they said they saw him, walking down.
Yeah. And it is very confusing because, again, I even go back to the psychic lady that worked with them for a week back in 2019, and she says, out of anything, the one main thing they wanted to know was how he entered and exited the crime area, and yet they kind of give you some knowledge there, pretty much. So I'm confused by that, to be honest.
It's really fascinating to read, though, like in retrospect.
Yeah. I always believe that the truth lies near the beginning of when things happened, before people diluted it with a bunch of crap along the way. That the truth lies there, with just like Dave Erskine texts that came out, right? Okay, so those are texts that came out. Those texts have credibility to them because Dave Erskine was one of the people that was at the crime scene, one of the first people that was at the crime scene. And again, he knows that he's taken quite a licking for those texts, and he's also admitted to saying those. And so again, he's a family member, Libby's uncle. And so
Abby's uncle.
I didn't. Yeah, I know. And as I said that, I'm like, wait, what sounds wrong here? Abby's uncle. And so it's one of those things that, when you kind of stick to the things that were said by people when their mouths are loosey goosey, just no different than Garrett Kurtz talking about Michaela Babcock, talking about all the different stab wounds and making a comment that there were so many that they had to stop counting. But obviously you guys know that that's an exaggerated expression, and anyone that doesn't realize that is doesn't have two screws together, then, because everyone knows that that's just an expression people use because it just simply means that there's an overwhelming amount of wounds that were done to the girls, to the point that it's like 1, 2, 20, 21, 22, so knowing that, say, Garrett Kurtz said Michaela Babcock had said that, and I feel like there's very much truth to that she was in, no matter who you are, and it's no different than Kohlberger saying, when you have someone like, say, that Casey person that came forward, you always got those people that are so in shock of what's going on, their mouths are just flapping away because they're in shock. They are just pretty much telling anyone that's going to listen to them, because they're like that was my cousin. Like, this is my cousin. And you know what? They're not even thinking about what to say, what not to say. They're not thinking about that stuff. They're just going around talking because that's typically what people do. When you're in shock and horror, disbelief that somebody that you knew or was associated with or close to participated or was the victim of these crimes. And that's why that Casey person and Brian Kohlberger's, like, she's like, look, seriously, like, I knew this guy. Whereas a lot of people don't say anything they know who Brian Koberger is, but there's those people that come forward. And in all fairness, those are the people that I kind of like, are the ones that come forward, because those are the people that are kind of giving you information that you would never otherwise wouldn't have, to be honest. So I'm always grateful myself for those people that are talkers, and put themselves out there. And Dave Erskine was obviously one of those people, and gave us some insight to visually a little bit that crime scene,
Can I read you a short snippet? I found that part.
Sure.
Okay, so it's from Crime Online from February 24th, 2021, and I'm pretty sure it was changed the same day or very soon after. So the original says, this is Ives, the answers that Ives was giving. He said, no, I don't think so. This is one person. And no, I don't think so. This is one person was in quotes, but this next part is not all in quotes. It says, a killer leaving at least 3 different signatures leads me to think there is some distinct mental illness that he is not able to hide from others. I think that's what the author is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says, we don't know if these signatures were pre or post mortem. Ives did say, quote, there were odd sorts of things, ... non-secular. And then it changed to, Ives said, no more quotes at all. It's not like any other crime he has been to. That's what it was changed to from the non-secular statement.
That one was in which article?
It was I put a link to it in the Facebook
Crime
thing.
Online.
Crime Online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
McCullum, I think, was her last name.
Yeah. He says a killer leaving at least 3 different signatures
But see,
leads me to think that some distinct
I think that's the author speaking, though.
Yeah.
I think he's told her that, but because I remember being confused about some distinct mental illness, and I'm like, he didn't say that.
Right, and then it says I've said it's not like any other crime he's been to.
Yes, but originally said there were odd sorts of things. ...
Really good article though. Like if you read the whole thing,
it's a great article.
Okay. Actually here, and again, there's 41 likes, you guys. 83 people watching. Can you guys hit that like?
Does that do with Nancy Grace, the Crime Online thing?
Yes, and I'm not a fan of her usually.
I mean I think that, but I did think that was part of it was by Cheryl McCullum.
Yeah, and it was Kelsey and her.
They went out and they walked the trails.
Yes.
Did you put that link in this chat, Ivy?
I will.
Yes, I don't know how y'all work.
I will, Sonny.
Okay. Ivy, Ivy, do you have a mod stick or no?
No.
Because it won't show up if you drop it in here, right?
Yeah, I put it in our Facebook our Facebook chat, Sonny. Like the Crime and Shame one.
Okay.
So
I'm assuming it's the same article that
yeah, I was trying to figure out who Charlene Bowen is. Trauma nurse Charlene Bowen. It says the group at the table is retired homicide detective Christine Manina, I don't know how to pronounce that, Detective Don Higgins, trauma nurse Charlene Bowen, Caleb Siebert, who's Kelsey's boyfriend, Sue McDowell, and Kelsey German.
Yeah.
Hey Deb, that was the wrong link. She said also subscribe to Sunny's Twins channel.
2021. I think the Caleb they're talking about there. I think that's Kelsey's now husband.
I didn't know if it was. I don't know
because it's 2021, so I think it's Kelsey's now husband, Caleb.
Okay.
Jeff. That I can't even think about that dance that guy did. Jeff, he says, what the heck was that odd dance Alan did at the pool table? It reminds me of a big marlin fish. That's what it reminded me of. Actually. It reminded me of a big fish flopping,
Yeah.
I keep thinking of that little jig that he did, and it's
exactly what it is, a little jig.
Yeah, little jig. Yeah, that's my twins channel there.
She put out a new video tonight.
My sister?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She put out the one with the basket and the eucalyptus.
I didn't watch all of it.
Oh. Really? You're not giving her hours?
I am. I got home and I was trying to get ready for this live. So I saw that she did, and then I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, I'll watch it later.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, Adam, actually, you go ahead and say it. You filled out your.
What am I saying?
About your YouTube monetization.
I went to monetize this morning, and so I'm waiting for my tax ID to be verified, I guess is what you say.
Transferable.
Yeah. So I think that's the first step, and then I think after that I'll have to wait for them to approve my whole account. But the first step was I have to wait for them to verify my tax ID.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Are you monetized, Ivy?
I don't have a channel.
I thought you did.
Oh.
I thought you did this whole time.
I can't get
She's just a great supporter.
Stuff in my life done. Let alone a channel.
What'd you say?
I said I can't get important stuff in my own life done, let alone a channel.
That's Ivy, because that's because you're so busy supporting other channels.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a good supporter of good channels.
If you mean gossiping and like talking shit a lot, yes.
Yeah.
I said supporting other channels.
You know, it's kind of like, like Peace. Peace is always popping around to other rooms.
Peace loves to gossip and talk shit.
And modding and that. But, now he's trying to work more on his channel, which is exactly the way it should be. Is if, somebody has a channel, like I said, instead of putting all that energy into helping other channels, and you have a channel, then, help get your own going there too. So Peace always knows.
I'm very detail oriented, but it's hard for me to have like a macro vision on things sometimes. So like I can do research for things, but it's hard for me to think about like topics and like, things like that. So that's kind of kept me from going down the channel route also.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's one of those things, yeah. If there's a calling to you, then it will happen. If not, then
Andrew, are you subscribed to my channel?
Yeah. You did.
But I've not seen your name pop up on my subscriber list, Andrew. Just saying. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna call people out. Ray Jones isn't either.
On there. Okay. You guys, we're gonna end this live here in a few minutes. It's almost coming 12 o'clock my time. My husband, I'm sure, is gonna want to come to bed. So, Ivy, any final thoughts about Delphi or even Idaho for that matter, if you have any, or just whatever? It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Not really.
That's awesome. Thank you for taking up all that time.
You're welcome.
Honey, can you stop for a minute?
Yeah.
Ray, I've tried to stick up for you. I've tried to be your ally.
Yeah.
But I always thought you had better taste than that, Ray. Am I not enough for you, Ray?
Apparently not.
Is my love not enough for you?
Nope, it's not. But time is. His grandpa knocked out a moose.
What am I supposed to do with that, Ray? Like, where do we go from this, Ray? How do we move on?
I don't know that there is a way to move on, to be honest with you.
Ray must be part of big sheetrock, the big sheetrock industry. Because
he's a fisherman.
It's what's his face is always
definitely
punching his walls and having to replace the sheetrock.
Yeah. I think Ray is full of sheep.
I think Ray punches fish in the nose. That's what I think Ray does. He's like, "You talking to me, fish?
I'm gonna put this off to I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna give it to the Lord. You know what, Lord? You take this from me."
There's no explaining, Ray.
You handle it, Ray.
Yeah. Let AASB be your guide to.
He has a new channel, just so you know, Ray.
Oh, what's it called?
I have no idea. I was just told that. I could care less. But I heard he's back.
Of course he is.
But Ray, I thought this meant I thought we had something special. I thought this meant something to you.
Fake a tear, Adam. Fake a tear.
Right.
Get that smile off your face and fake a tear.
I can't.
We know
try.
where.
Wait,
yeah.
It's Ray. I can't. Yeah. It's not Deb.
He called it AASB again, Deb?
No. Ray, there's no subbing to you. Ray, I'm disappointed in you. And I want you to know that.
I think he just likes the attention that he's getting from it all. You happy, Ray? Do you need love and affection?
Maybe the last attention he gets from me.
Yeah. Ivy, what do you think about that? Do you think Ray's a traitor? Should we slap him with a fish across the face?
I do not condone fish violence.
You're a good person.
And
better than I am. I condone it.
I feel, has Ray not been around for a while until, did he take a break and come back? I hear a lot about Ray, but when I think about my memories of Ray, there's not much there.
That's what every girl that's ever met him has said. That's what you deserve, Ray. Priceless. You deserve that, Ray. Yeah, every woman that's ever met you has said the same thing. I don't remember much about him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was priceless. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Poor Ray. I'm just playing, Ray.
You know he's going to go sulk now.
You subscribe to whoever you want, Ray. Even if you have horrible taste, you go about your business the way you
do. You, boo.
You do, you, boo.
Don't forget to subscribe to Greeno, though, Ray, when he comes out, too.
Tomorrow night.
And then he'll have something in his beak going, Greeno's the best con man that I ever watched. He's way better than Patty Mayo. I mean, yeah.
And Ray, come on, be an American. You can only like one Canadian at a time. And Sonny's right there.
Hello.
I mean, what are you, a commie? You can't like two Canadians at once.
Because he has to be all animals.
I hope you're not near him.
I am actually.
I know Canada is a giant place, but
no, Ray and I are. Oh, you mean?
I'm not Ray. I mean,
well, let me put it this way.
Adam. Have you heard his accent? He's basically from Buffalo. Let's be honest. He's from Toronto.
Okay.
Right.
Bad boys.
Isn't that where he's from, Sonny?
Oh, he says he's never unsubbed Greeno. Well, I don't know how you could be subbed to him if his channel's not there.
Got taken.
Yeah, good fight. Good fight. Hi, Renee.
Maybe he means his OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Renee.
Gotta go. Bye.
I don't know. There was a Renee that just subscribed. Wasn't there just now?
Yeah, Renee Johns.
Thank you, Renee. Yep.
And then you said, speaking of Renee.
I take it back. Never mind.
Okay.
I know you're.
Oh, are you thinking of Anthony Greeno's name?
Hey, that would be possible, but I mean the chances of him being able to afford a subscription to anything, not likely.
He likes me. Those are fighting words, Adam.
What are fighting words, Ray? You should be apologizing to me and pledging your never-ending love.
Andrew, I'm pretty sure that me and my twin sister didn't date you.
I mean, Andrew, tell us more. We're listening.
No.
But Andrew, did you subscribe to my channel? Because you didn't answer that question.
Yes, he did. He answered that question.
Oh, did he? I didn't see him. Hey, Sophia.
Hey, Sophia. Thank you very much for becoming a member.
No, Ray, I don't think you're Canadian. Come on, get with the program. You're not slow.
Yes, he is, Adam. Yes, he is.
He's American. Don't tell him that.
Me being Canadian. Sophia, there you go. Thank you for becoming a member, Sophia. And if you do want to join our private Facebook group, just make sure you email me at acrimingshame@gmail.com. and then go to the Facebook group that's there, and then answer those 3 questions. Did you send me an email with your Facebook name? And you don't have to. It's just part of the, the little perk that comes with becoming a member here. You can join the private Facebook group. It's non-drama. I mean, the only person that really causes a lot of trouble in that Facebook group is Deb, typically. I don't know how many times
the nudes are out of control.
Out of control, to be honest with you. We've told her to tone it down and stop. Deb, if you could quit posting your OnlyFans link, that would be great. Not everybody needs to see that stuff. Yeah.
Apparently they do.
Yeah, and Ray's too cheap to become a member. Ray, are you a member? Huh? No?
Oh, Jeff, thank you.
That's how much Ray loves us. He still loves us so much he's not even a member.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, y'all get yourself Snickers. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, Adam. $1.99 divided by YouTube amount. That makes it $1.60.
We can get a little one.
We can buy 1 chocolate bar. Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff H. Super Chat.
Yep.
$1.99.
Yeah.
Thank you. Y'all get a couple Snickers bars with this.
Only Snickers bar I'm going to see is the one that I drop into the toilet in a few minutes.
I was afraid of what you were going to say there, and it did not.
Do your super chats come in through YouTube or through Streamlabs?
YouTube. Well, Streamlabs is the music you're hearing for it, but they come through StreamYard. Yeah. So
YouTube doesn't get their cut out of those?
No. They do. Because you're running this through YouTube using Streamlab as the source. So it doesn't matter if it's Streamlabs or so donations that are done through PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee, those ones don't get taxed for 30% because but when you use StreamYard instantly, so if somebody donates $100, $30 to that goes right to YouTube.
Anything that goes to YouTube, like
anything that goes to the stream. Yeah,
I think there's a way to have a link. I always get confused between StreamYards and Streamlabs, so excuse me on that. But where you can have a link where you can do super chats, but it goes through that and it like bypasses YouTube, where you don't have to give YouTube 30%.
No,
not unless you do Buy Me a Coffee or you do their PayPal link or their Cash App or something like that.
Correct. So only if they have a whole different.
I literally just filled out my monetization this morning, so
I'm gonna have to go look because I swear I know other creators who have like you have to do it through a link instead of like through the YouTube thing, but it comes up as a super chat. I'll let you know if I find it.
There may be a way to do a PayPal, like if someone sends you. I don't know. I don't think there is like to get a super chat. I don't think there is because anything that's going to report on YouTube is going to have to then have a tax. Is going to have to be taxed because of legality. I mean, it's between 24% and 30%.
It's a lot.
And the U.S. standard it's 30% basically.
If I find it, I will let you know.
Correct.
Right, Marietta. Yeah. Sorry, Sonny.
No, I was just gonna say correct. So that's why we usually that's why when you see the coffee app comes up, like the coffee app will take 41 cents, versus YouTube taking 30%.
Right.
So
because if you have $10, if you do a $10 super chat on YouTube,
that's $7.
You're really only giving $7.
Correct.
Because YouTube's going to take $3 of it.
Yeah.
So if you give $20, they're going to take $6, and etc. But we're still grateful for that. So I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
It's just the fact that some people don't know that, and some people do, but they just want to see that it's in the super chat here versus doing a coffee type of idea, because here you see it be the donation where it's in the coffee one. You don't necessarily see it right away unless you look at your phone that gives you an alert or something like that. Yeah. But the difference is that PayPal and coffee apps and those other outside links they take a very nominal percent versus YouTube, which is it's like loan sharks, basically, like, hey, we're giving you this, we're taking this, and thank you very much type of thing. So
Verbal Judo, you don't want me to get any of it? Verbal Judo said, I want Sunny to get all of it.
Yeah, no, Verbal, there's no Adam there whatsoever. as you can see. Sunny, I believe.
Thanks, Verbal.
Yeah.
Hey, Carol. It's good to see you.
Hey,
I haven't
Carol.
seen you in a while.
I was gonna say, Carol, where are you hiding? Whose channel are you watching? You watching ASB and stuff like that? Actually, there's a few people. Donna. Remember Donna?
I love Donna.
I never see Donna anymore. You know, some
I haven't
people.
seen Copper Horse in a while, or
No, Copper Horse was here the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a while.
YouTube.
Or Cordy. I haven't seen Cordy in a while.
Nope, Cordy's been in here, but he's not saying anything. He's been hiding. You know it. You know he is. But you know,
People I care about.
It's just names that you see all the time, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, where'd they go? You know.
Right. Hey, WL22.
Yeah.
Never Silent. I saw he was getting a puppy. So congratulations, Never Silent. And yeah, I think Never Silent is getting I think he said. I can't remember the name. It's a really pretty name, and I think it means like unwavering or unbeatable. Called Akita, or sorry, I'm sure I'm wrong in that. But
Deb, why is Donna blocked?
I love puppies.
He said it looks like a sloth.
The puppy?
Yeah, because of the mix it is. I can't remember what it is. It's a pit or a rot and something else. So I can't remember. I'm really good at bringing you half the information.
My last dog was, what was he? He was half Roddy, a quarter lap, and a quarter pit, and he was a great dog. In fact, I did not realize how good of a dog he was until I got my current dog, who is not a bad dog, but just I didn't realize how easy, just naturally easy my last dog was until then.
She does, Deb?
Adam, which is the Donna? We're talking about the Donna, the one that offered to buy me a ticket. Remember, to Indiana, that Donna. That was Donna, right?
Remember that wasn't her name. I don't think that was her name on YouTube, though.
Yeah.
Was it?
What's the lady's name? Because I'm having the one that offered to buy me a ticket to go to Indiana.
Got to keep your haters and your fans separate.
I don't think her name was Donna on YouTube, but let me think about it. And
isn't it Donna?
Ahita. Thank you, Never Silent. Yeah, he said Ahita is unconquerable and invincible. So I wasn't too far off. I made a YouTube channel for her. Oh, Never Silent. Calm yourself down. Get the dog before you make a YouTube channel for her.
Trying to get pizza.
Beautiful. I say Ahita, and it just makes me want a fajita.
I know, it makes me want a taco. Actually, you know what it reminds me of? A banana. Chiquita banana.
Sonny, I talked to you this morning early, and I walked into work, and a stylist that works in the salon she made herself tacos for breakfast. It was 9:30 in the morning, and I was starving, and I walk in, and all I smell is steak tacos. I'm like, how cruel is that to a vegetarian to do on a Saturday morning?
My cat's name is Bambi.
I've been angry all day.
Wow. The hate.
You should not have to walk into your workplace and smell tacos first thing in the morning.
Oh, I love tacos.
I fired her immediately.
What did I make today? Today I made I had an Asian party pack, just an Asian party pack. It's called from M&M Foods. And then I had some. Don't you guys ever like that Insta rice? Not when I say Insta rice, I'm talking about the kind that you cut off the top and then you put it in the microwave and it's already ready to go in 2 minutes. That rice. That's you can get Mexican rice or broccoli and cheese rice. You guys know what I'm talking about? The Uncle Ben's rice that's you pop in the microwave and it's done in 2 minutes. Yeah. I don't think, Ivy, you even know. Ivy, do you even
cook?
Yeah? Okay.
I use an Instant Pot instead because I'm cheap.
I'm a firm believer, and if I can make it fast, I'm there. And someone said something about, who was it that said, I think it was Lewis that talked about the worst invention was microwaves. Kiss my button. I love the microwave.
Hey, who listens to him?
Right? Who is that guy anyway?
I think he's
I'll take my advice
air
from
fryer, but
two-eyed people.
I know. I want one of those air fryers, but I didn't.
Lewis.
I know. No, he's not, Lewis. I really want one of those air fryers. It's just like I go into the chat.
Ray,
and
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, and an Asian party pack. New Jersey,
I knew it was coming, Ray.
Mm-hmm. But I look into the chat and then I see Ivy talking about I think her pans, and I see the word air fryer going off again.
Man, Lewis is for real about some air fryers.
Yeah. If you don't say it 3 times, it'll show up in your mirror.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to check the likes out here, people.
Sunny and I don't have air fryers, but we may get them once we become millionaires.
I don't have one either, but I always am like, I'm going to get one. And then when I go to get one, I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend that.
Right. Thank you. I'm like, I can just order out a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know how you order out so much.
I feel like we should be like those other channels. Like, can you buy me guys a $500 mic? Can you?
No.
You know, I always find it so amazing.
We only do that for other people.
Especially when it's like big channels that make quite a bit of money. And then they're sitting there going, yeah, can you just donate to my microphone fund? You know, I mean, this will help me give you guys a better performance and, you know, make everything better for you guys. So if you guys can just contribute and give me $500 for a new microphone, that would be awesome.
Sonny, my mic stopped working.
Oh, no, mine did too.
Oh, no.
I wonder where we could get another one from. Deb?
Too bad it was so expensive.
Yeah. Donate now to the air fryer fund. Don't worry.
Okay, it's working again. Isn't it?
Their own, but I was watching a show the other day. You don't have but I was thinking about doing that because there are, you know what? Okay, I don't want to make light of this because there are truly people that do like doing that. That like you know, like Callie there, right? She had bought me Abby and Libby blanket for Christmas, and I kept saying, no, you don't need to do that. And she's like, no, I want to do that. You know, finally I gave in and I was like, fine, if you want to do it. And so I saw this little thing about an Amazon wish list or whatever. Never really looked at it, but you know, let me put it this way. I'm never going to tell anyone ever what they should ever do with their money. No. There's people out there that like to donate, and there's people out there that can't afford it, and there's people out there that, you know, do what they can. It's just whatever. It's never expected. It's appreciated because, like, again, there's people that want to do stuff. I like to do stuff for people, so I get it. You know, I'm just not like one of those people that goes, here, you guys. You know what? I mean, I guess I could wait till my YouTube money comes in, like this one channel. I guess I could wait till my YouTube money. Oh, really, Paul? You're gonna spend $100 for me and get me some of these sound bits? Oh, thank you so much, Paul. Thank you. You know, and they totally just constantly are like, you know, buy me things, give me things, done.
You know, I don't have anything from our merch store.
I do.
I know you do. I don't have one thing from our merch store.
Nope.
It's both Christmas. I mean, you know, Christmas and all that stuff. It gets expensive, so.
Verbal judo. Verbal judo. $169. Leave yourselves 8 cents. You know, pop maybe 9. Callie is great. Callie is wonderful.
Right. Callie's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Callie's just a great human being there.
But wouldn't I look good with a press or media hat on?
I think you would. I don't know why you're right. I mean, it's not like you get it at cost. You get it
I mean, you know how it is.
The cost still isn't cheap.
But you know how it is. You know, you gotta be conscientious about spending money sometimes.
Adam, you can't.
I'd rather just buy memberships for people.
He can't say that. He just went drinking. Yeah.
No, I'd rather buy memberships for people.
Which he did 3 times now. Thank you. Yeah. No, verbal judo. Yeah. I mean, like I said, desperate times call for desperate measures. I want $1.69 in my account ASAP. Leave yourself that few.
Did you say AASB?
No, I did not say ASAP. Poor Ivy's just sitting back there going.
You're gonna get Ray excited.
See, no, Deb.
Good night, Deb.
Deb, the whole point was we were seeing how long this live could go before Deb said that.
We know we're on too late if Deb's going to bed.
Right. I know. I mean, right?
Because she's up all night.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, again, this channel to me, I love the regulars that come in, especially into the new people that are coming in that understand that this is like a family to us. There's some really great people that are in this chat and that stick and are loyal to the channel, and that's much appreciated. More than anything. So
thank you, Carol.
Carol, nice to see you.
I know you don't, Deb. I was joking.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So Ivy, last minute thoughts? Anything? She's gonna say no again. She felt that. Ivy, you awake?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I was on a different website, and it like turned my mic off somehow. It happens sometimes when I'm on a phone. I don't have any thoughts. I feel like we talked about them, and the only thoughts I have will lead to more talking. So.
Oh, I gotcha. I like Jeff's comment there because you can just feel it. Like we are family. Get up, everybody, and dance.
Ray, I can tell you, Deb does not fib. Whether you like it or not, she'll tell you the truth.
You don't fib either, do you? Well, if she tells you she likes you, she's lying right there, right? I know that.
That's all. That's just for Ray. No.
Yeah.
No, Deb.
Yeah. No. Anyways, Ivy, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight.
Thank you for hanging out with us, Ivy.
Yeah, it was nice.
I feel privileged because you hang with a pretty cool crowd.
I do like them a lot. So
that was kind of funny. She's like, I get a message from Ivy saying, could you add me to your group? So I thought she was talking about our.
I would never just ask somebody to add me to a chat group.
So I'm just like, where do I find that again? And then she's like, I'm just something about hanging with the cool people. And then she realized after that our group name is called the Cool Chat People or something like that.
Right.
What's it called?
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, I was talking about, I think you were talking about the Facebook members group, eh?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. But I thought you were talking about, like that one. So anyways, welcome Ivy to our group.
Thank you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know who she's going to report to.
Mm-hmm.
Later.
Do you also remember who took himself out of the group?
Yeah.
Do you remember that poker player?
Yeah.
There was somebody in the chat who plays poker.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
But no, he miraculously, I think he knows who it is.
Does he win?
No, because he never donates.
The question.
He don't. Right. I think
he's not clever as he thinks he is.
Cheese. The cheese.
All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for having me on.
Oh.
Yeah. You take care, Ivy, and get that pan sorted out.
I will. Bye.
Take care.
How are your dogs?
I only have one dog.
You only have one dog?
Yes.
Okay. How's your dog?
She's great. I love her very much. She's.
Right.
I don't even think I could send you a picture because I think you would die.
No, you're fine. Go. I just wanted to say, because I knew you had a dog. I thought you had two for some reason, but
no, just one fluffy girl.
Okay.
Yeah. You get going, Ivy. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Good night.
Finally, we got
rid
of her.
God, she's gone.
Oh, yeah.
We're such good hosts.
Yeah. Don't tell her we said that, though. I hope she's still not listening.
Did she pay you to come on?
Would have rather had ass hat on, to be honest with you.
She paid you, though, right? You got it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'm kidding.
Thank you. Yeah, no. Thank you.
No, thank you, Ivy.
Yeah.
I love Ivy.
What we meant was thank you, Ivy, for leaving, because now we can really get this party started. No,
Right.
yeah. She knows we're joking. Anyways, I think tomorrow should be a good day. Just so you guys know, don't forget. What's your channel name, Adam? Oh, what the heck? What's your channel name, Adam?
What do I look like, Sonny?
I don't know. What do I look like? Do I look like a surf? Like,
you made the logo.
Oh, you look like a drunken turkey. That's what you look like. Adam, somebody wants your channel there. Mrs. Understood. Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, see, I'm trying to get him to get unlazy about putting his own darn link in the chat. Yeah. Even though it's always in the bio link, you guys. Let's see. Hi, Ava. Hawkshaw. Oh my God, you were a very clever user at Mrs. Understood.
Thank you, Mrs. Understood.
Hi, Lewis Freeman.
Hey, Lewis Freeman.
Lewis Freeman's in the house.
That's a big guitar.
That is a big guitar. That guitar looks like it's bigger than me.
Thank you, Misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
That's my link right there that I just posted.
Oh, look at that picture. Misunderstood. What's about to happen in that picture? Do you see this, Adam?
Oh.
I'm going to let you guys think about what's going to go on in that picture. Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow night. So we should probably go to bed.
I feel like I'm blurry. Am I blurry? Oh, I'm blurry.
A little bit.
Just hold on.
Ray, you can't say that anymore. You're not, and you're not either. You live in North Carolina.
Who's Ray? Not sure I recognize that name.
Yeah. Hey, Ava.
Yeah.
I like Ava's profile picture a lot.
That's my niece's name.
Is it? That profile picture, I love that.
Yeah, hold on. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, nice blue highlights there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I like the pop. It's like pop art.
It's the lipstick that's really capturing me. It's the lipstick on that one. Can't say what led up to
like it. Steffa would like that.
Well, I think we can say what led up to that picture, to be honest with you, and it was probably a couple kids later.
Keld, I could do another hour, but I do need to go to bed.
Why, do you have to work tomorrow? Or are you
No, I don't. But, we have a show tomorrow night, so I want to be fresh for that.
Your self-esteem is... Well, how do you need Adam to pick it up? Do you need... I mean, that's a nice...
If it was Renee, I wouldn't have much self-esteem either.
Renee, do you want us to compliment your avatar too? Would that build your self-esteem up?
Unless your middle name is Anthony and your last name is Greeno.
Yeah. Then we can't help you.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a nice TV from the 1980s, 70s, 60s. Good night.
Good night, Renee. Oh, good night, Renee. I hope you're not leaving because you think I was just playing. Turn Renee's knobs. Ava.
Good night.
That was my job when I was a kid. You just sit there and.
Yeah. Well, if we see someone unsubscribed, we know who it is. Whoops, my skin went all funky. I got Transformer skin. Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. You guys pulling out the songs there tonight, aren't you? It is a nice picture. Yeah.
How many subscribers do I have?
Good night, everyone.
I have to look.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for the YOLO live with us. And thanks to Ivy Rose for joining us.
Yeah, I love Ivy. She's just got such a good energy. She always has.
Yeah. She's like a songbird. Yeah. She reminds me of a little songbird.
Good people.
Oh no, when's Green Bean's next video tomorrow? Yeah, watch it. He's gonna be
Green Bean.
Greeno. Hold on.
We'd have to start his channel. Oh, wait, Marietta, didn't you join the other night?
Marietta, did you not join the other night?
Am I like high when I think that?
No, because I was about to say the same thing. Marietta.
But thank you for joining twice. Maybe she's on a different device.
I don't know. Marietta.
Maybe she has another account under a different device. Thank you, Marietta.
Oh,
we love you.
Oh, thank you for being smarter than us, Ava. Thanks, because no, seriously,
Jeff, you're so witty.
You actually didn't
Ivy
know.
grows on you. Get it?
Jeff is so funny. He's got some really good ones.
Come on, Ray, you're slacking. You should have thought of that one.
I know, right? Jeff is the new
Ray's just phoning it in at this point.
Yeah.
It's like we're married. He's like, I'm not gonna put any effort into it.
Yeah. I like Jeff's sense of humor. It's good. Yeah, you got those little puns. Dun, dun, dun. Who is Greeno?
Hey, Jeff, dad jokes are the best.
Who is Greeno, Adam? Do you want to give a quick description quickly to Marietta since she just did upgrade?
Renee Anthony Greeno is a 37-year-old male that lives in the Cass County, I'm sorry, as of tonight, the Carroll County jail that is going to be released, I believe, tomorrow. That's been incarcerated under the charges of, what did he get arrested for?
Wasn't it for
child support, and then he failed a drug
test.
test.
Yeah.
But he's getting let out tomorrow on good behavior, and so, we hope that
that's funny.
We hope that everyone deserves a second or third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance, and that we hope that he is rehabilitated and is going to enter the world as a good citizen of Carroll County and do all of the right things and be a model citizen.
So when he stopped at 5, that's only because he didn't feel like going to 30 different charges.
Did I not describe it properly?
No, I feel like you didn't quite build him up the way that Greeno would have liked to have, because he doesn't like to be under braggadocious.
Right. He is 5'8".
Yeah. I know. But yeah, he doesn't like to really brag too much, Greeno. So we're gonna brag for him. If you guys just Google him, and actually you can just pull him up on Indiana Free Court Records for yourself. And of course,
or just go to Cold Truth's channel. She did a pretty good in depth.
It's not easy being a Greeno. No. Yeah, and it's almost mysterious. I almost feel like this is mysterious. What is Greeno gonna become? What is he gonna do? What tactic is he going to use to swoon you the sapsuckers, not you sapsuckers, because you guys aren't gonna fall for it, right?
Right. Can I say, in all honesty, I'm not at all giving him a pass in any regard whatsoever. But
no passes.
Out of the humane part of my heart, have to say, I do hope that someone can take a situation, learn a lesson from it, and change. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But do I hope it can? Absolutely.
Do pigs fly? Do
I have this much hope? It's about as much as I have. But you know what? I'm just going to hope that someone can rehabilitate and change. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't believe it, but I'll hope.
I think there's going to need to be about 100 gods for that to happen. Yeah. But it's there. There's a slim chance.
I have to think of the best in people, right?
No, we don't. No,
I don't.
We don't. No, we can be truthful here, and there's people out there that just don't deserve it. Yeah. I mean, his mama. Sorry, his mama's
not. Yeah.
Okay, so whoever his family members are.
He is getting out tomorrow, though. For anyone that doesn't know, he is getting out tomorrow, and he's in Carroll County in Carroll County Jail tonight.
I think I have a better chance at winning the lottery Miracle Hearts than not happening myself, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. Okay, right?
Wednesday night, he's really sitting next to me like, hey, Greeno.
It's almost like going through a telephone book. I'm discharged, so this, what?
Wouldn't that be a plot twist?
What?
If like Wednesday night Greeno was like sitting next to me.
You know what? Do you guys think that we should have him on our show when he comes back?
Like I was like, oh, he's just staying with me for a few weeks.
Yeah. We'll just keep sitting there making faces like going, oh. You know, we'll do like JLR.
Greeno me no harmo, or Greeno me no homo.
Hi, Sylvia. How are you? We're actually, Sylvia, while you're logging on, we're just about to log off.
Two ships in the night.
I was actually quite sleeping nicely. And then my husband.
Forever. I tried to wake her up like 5 times and she wouldn't get up.
That's a lie.
I was like, hey, am I annoying you? Hey.
Yeah, I think I messaged was something like, do you love me? Don't you love me? Or something.
I said, don't you love me now? How do you love me now?
Yeah. And it was only because my husband came in the room. Because I was like working on Delphi and then I got really tired and I was like, I'm going to go.
I got home and I needed immediate attention.
He's such a needy co-host. He really, truly is. Oh, look at Ray. What? That's a great idea. Yeah. Not.
Miracle Heart. Don't you dare.
What'd she say? I dare you to invite him on.
We're not doing that.
Yeah. I would rather literally talk to a manure pile.
We there's no, yeah. We're not, trust me, he'll be on channels.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, did you see, Sunny, the picture I sent you?
Which one?
He's all over Summer
Wells.
And it's
oh yeah, I know.
I sent you a picture on Messenger.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
That would be very detrimental of those two, because if you guys look at JLR's avatar, he looks like Greeno. You know,
and then they just make out.
Like, that would be a lethal combo to get together, to be honest with you.
But,
you know, right. Next thing you know, Greeno's going to be on the thumbnails instead.
Right.
JLR presents.
They would just be like they would camera angle fight.
Oh no, I'm actually not looking forward to it, to be honest with you. It's just kind of like, you know, when it's nice when someone's, you know, when there's that bad apple in a group, that really bad apple.
Like Deb.
Yeah, you know, that bad apples in a group, and then that bad apple goes away and you're like, that's how I felt. I was like,
with Greeno.
Yeah. You're just kind of like,
I've never been a part of YouTube when he's been around. Remember, because he was on the run when I joined your channel in January.
Yeah.
And now it's been a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say Marv investigates. What was her name then? Because she was Marvelous Marvin. Okay, is Marv.
Oh, she's from Greeno's channel, I believe.
She's from Greeno's channel. She was
Sleuth. So Sleuth and Slow.
Was Sleuth
so
from
is
there as well?
What?
Was Sleuth from his channel as well? Was he him on?
Yeah, I mean, so was Graz, and Bloke.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking of people that got created from the help of.
Well, because they were on his channel.
Yeah.
I mean, even Chaotic and Mel. I mean, we're connected to him. You know, I mean, of course, Full Truth has done a lot since then, but and so is Chaotic. to expose.
I'm just gonna be a bystander looking through the glass window, wondering all who goes and kisses his butt and sits there and be like, "Oh, I missed you so much, you little convict."
Yeah, I know for a fact Bloke won't turn and go back towards Greeno.
Yeah, I don't even. Does Bloke even do live still? I don't know.
No, he's not really doing true crime so much right now.
No. Okay.
He did go on Graz's show the other night, which I think.
Really?
He probably won't do again, but yeah.
I don't even know.
And Graz was not in a great stand. Graz was not in a good state of mind, from what I hear. But
yeah,
you know. Captain, however, what? You mean Captain Howdy?
Captain, however, worked with him.
Yeah, chaotic. But chaotic and Mel both are strong women, and they know what they're doing. So they've done more to expose the truth than they have. Anything.
Anyways, it will be very interesting. And again, manure will stick to the bottom, and the good channels will rise to the top while the manure stays at the bottom and fertilizes. Is the fertilizer for the flowers that grow.
Hey, Lizzie.
Hey, okay, Lizzie. Okay, Lizzie dripping. What do you think whenever you see Lizzie dripping? Did your mind go a certain way when you see Lizzie dripping?
I mean, it takes all of half a thing for my brain to go straight to the gutter.
Mine goes right to the gutter after it passes the faucet.
I mean, look at Come Homer.
Come on her. Come on her.
Or Ray Jones.
Oh yeah, Ray Jones one too.
Look, Ray's like, "Oh, hi, a woman."
I always like those play on names, but I don't know if Lizzie dripping, is there a meaning behind that? But all I keep thinking of is a certain particular female part that's dripping. That's what, and it kind of goes with that.
You thought it too.
Type of thing. So, hey, Lizzie, how are you? Not making fun of your name whatsoever.
No.
Just my mind goes to the gutter every time I see certain names. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ray's like, "Oh, a new woman too, Adam."
Yeah, I knew. Yeah. So didn't we say we were going to get off 20 minutes ago?
Or an hour and a half ago?
Something like that. I think Lizzie needs to see a doctor.
Carol. I miss you, Carol.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh. Is that what it was? It's a wonderful book for my child. It's a book.
You know what? Oh my goodness! She's right. It is a children's book.
Oh yes.
Here we're the bad ones. We're the bad ones.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. Lizzie, I apologize for us.
Definitely. Yeah. I promise I'll keep my thoughts to myself when I see the word dripping.
Sylvia, I'm gonna say on behalf of Sunny and I would 100% say
no.
Richard Allen is not getting bail. But you know what? If he does, you come back and you remind me on that day, and I will apologize, and I will gift 5 memberships in the chat.
Yeah.
But I 100% think that Richard Allen is not getting bail.
Nope. I think that there's a better chance of those pigs flying than that happening.
Lizzie, I'm sorry. You're right. The world has made a beautiful childhood memory pure filth.
Lizzie,
but isn't that growing up?
I mean, I hate to point fingers because I don't want to accuse anyone of thinking that way. I, of course, thought it was about this childhood book.
No, you did not. You
yes,
whore.
I did. And is my nose growing? Okay. And then Adam had to put a spin twist plot on the dripping part. I was honestly thinking childhood book, or I was thinking of a beef, one of those beef sandwich things that you dip it and drip it. You know, one of those ones.
Whatever, Pinocchio.
Yeah. So, Lizzie, take only offense to what Adam says, never to what I say. Of course, I wouldn't. My mind never goes south, Adam. You know that.
Of course not. You're Canadian. How could it?
I'm just waiting to see someone have the word like moist. Something moist.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Poor Lizzie doesn't deserve to be this twice.
Well, Moist was a good childhood book that I used to personally read. All right,
a Canadian book. We didn't read that book here.
It was like a Duncan Hines, you know, Moist, a chocolate cake. Okay, yeah, it's time to go at it before you.
Tim Horton, or what was his name?
Green Bean the Bounty Hunter.
Green Bean the Bounty.
Okay, now we're just having. Okay, you both bring me pure joy. I don't recall a moist child. You don't. Oh wow! If you just look that up, and if you happen not to see it on Google, it's probably because that was so long ago you won't find it anymore. But I'm pretty sure it was there. Adam, stop your lying right now. Let's go. Let's go before you put your foot in your mouth anymore. Let's go. Let's go.
No, not my foot. Only other people's.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Oh, public art critic. Oh, look at that pops in.
Hey, public art
hey.
critic. It's been a while.
Nice time zone you have over there in England. Yeah.
Well, it is 3:35, so.
No, he's in it. Oh.
My time is 3:35. So his time, I think, for public art critic is
like 7.
8:35.
8:35. 7:35. You know, public art heard the word dripping and then was like, whoa, what's that channel over there talking?
8:36, yeah.
You're right, 8:36. Time just changed, yeah, on there. Lizzie, that book is 80 years old. Ooh. So, Lizzie, how old are you?
Don't age shame, Lizzie. Sonny, right. I said you earlier, you look beautiful in that red.
Go on with your bad self. Go on.
You do. I meant to say it earlier, but you know when we started. But
you guys, it's red my face,
and it took me 2.5 hours to tell you.
I think I get the most compliments ever when I wear red. I don't intentionally. Well,
you get a lot when you wear blue and black.
Red looks.
And anytime your hair's done, you always get compliments when your hair's done.
Yeah, but it's not done.
You know, it's a down. You always get compliments when it's down. Always.
My husband hates it when I wear my hair up, and my husband loves red. My birthstone is a garnet, which is red, ruby. I could say. I never really cared to wear red, to be honest, and the only reason why I bought more red is actually because my husband likes red.
Yeah.
So
I never wore red when I was a kid. Never. Like I've never worn red, and I've realized in the last 5 years that I look good in red actually, and. I got compliments when I was wearing green the other night, and I never got compliments when I wear green. Mm-hmm. So it's funny how you hear you change your things you think about yourself. But public art critic, we don't have enough time for all that tonight.
Yeah, rewind. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So I'm not sure where you left off, public art critic, but nothing is new happening in Delphi. You know, Richard Allen.
No speculation.
Yeah, I mean, the case will end up getting moved again. There was a response from the state to say why Richard Allen should not get on. February 17th, I believe, is when that court date is set. And then the court date for the
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah. So there's nothing new going on with Delphi. There's nothing you've missed out on.
It's all speculation. Other than that the jury's going to come from Allen County, Indiana. That's the only like factual new information, right, Sonny?
What?
Allen County is where the jury's coming from?
Yeah. So, besides where the fact that, Allen County is where they're going to pull the jury from. So it didn't get moved. So now it's really just the matter of that whole, back and forth between the defense and the attorneys and postponing and, submitting paperwork and stuff like that.
Right.
That's pretty much all that's come to, there's nothing else that's come to light really, besides just talking about Delphi.
And if you're following Idaho, the newest thing is that the Goncalves family has requested that the gag order be taken down for the families. Which we talked about last night. But I don't know if anyone remembers. But other than that, those are pretty much the only updates to both of those cases.
The investigation is still ongoing. And as far as we know, there's just Richard Allen for it still. We haven't heard of anyone else being arrested for Delphi or anything like that. So we'll have to see what comes to light in the future. So honestly, it's just the waiting game, public art. So you haven't missed anything. And if you did, trust me, it would hit that news if there was anything big and juicy.
And the prosecution and defense has agreed that the trial probably will not be held in March. So on February 17th, they'll also discuss
thanks, Lizzie,
bond and a new trial date. Mm-hmm. Yes, and Sylvia, both of us would love to go to Delphi.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if we could make it happen at the same time, we would love it even more, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And if we don't go at the same time, I'd love it even more than that. Absolutely. Rude.
You would love to go at the most time when I was there.
No, I specifically said that the only time I'm going to go to Delphi is if I see Ray Jones there. I think that's. Oh, wait, that
was North Carolina.
That was a nightmare. Hold on, that's a different story. That's a different story. Yeah,
because you and I would share a hotel room. There would be all sorts of chemistry and weird tension, but we'd be good.
Suffer. Yeah. Husband said it's okay. I'm pretty sure husband would be like, no, you go ahead.
No, you're bringing that husband because I need to see someone get up off the bed on the other side.
Oh, you never thought? I thought about going when I head to Kentucky. I would really like to venture out to the bridge area and just to the whole Abby and Libby, because obviously that's a place where, the sad events happen there. Yeah. And now that they have it built where you can go sit on a bench out there, I think it would be very overwhelming. I'd probably end up crying like a big baby because
that's why we'd have to go together.
I know, right? Help me up the bridge. I know. Yeah. It's like when you follow a case and the case becomes like it's your own girls in a sense, and that you just care so much about these girls. You see their sweet smiling faces, and people that have children can absolutely relate to the fact of if it was their child especially, and just
it would be heavy.
Can
you imagine standing there and looking north off of that bridge towards the crime scene?
Right.
I mean,
I
would probably need you there.
It would be very surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Sylvia, that's really sweet. Sylvia said would love to meet you both in Delphi, presumably the first time for all of us. That's really sweet. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
We would be so lucky, but
if there ever comes a time for that, we'll make sure that we basically, anyone that's around that area, we could meet up all somewhere and, just have Abby and Libby kind of get together type of thing. And Deb's going to make all the food. She doesn't know this.
Don't tell Deb.
No, don't tell Deb.
Deb what?
Yeah.
Huh? What? Nothing. I'm kidding.
You know what?
We're staying at Deb's house.
She's definitely not going to watch the end of this video because she's whatever. So we can talk about it right now all we want.
Yeah, we're staying at Deb's house.
Yeah. In fact, we're going to invade Deb's house. She just doesn't know it yet. And she's going to make all the food for this event. And she just doesn't know that either. But she'd be more than happy and willing to make food for 30, 40 people all by herself. Or cater it in.
Purdue RN. I've heard Purdue is an amazing host. So I'm all about that.
Yeah. What are you reading? Ray Jones? She's get kicked off.
Well, verbal said kitties are my fave because Beatrice was just all over me, and now her hate's all over me.
He's your kitty.
She doesn't think I am because she's wanted to go to bed for like 2 hours.
Oh, Beatrice?
Yeah. When you see her jump up in my lap, it means she wants me to go off of here and go to bed.
Yeah. Public art critic. I still personally believe that there's many tentacles involved, and that little pudgy wudgy there, even though he wasn't so pudgy at the
Little
time.
Dicky.
Little Dicky do. Little Dicky can't even see what his Dicky do anymore, because little Dicky do is, just a small little short thing with a, yeah. Especially when you look at him now. When you look at that picture where he has the Arizona historical hat on, he looks, they go hiking. But when you look at him now, he looks like such a meager little whittle waddle, in his yellow banana pants. And you're just like thinking, and you did what to those girls?
Right.
I don't necessarily still believe that I know that he did that to those girls by himself, or if he was even involved in that part of it. I don't know, because I feel that this was a multi-person crime that had happened, and that's how there's too much telling me that it's not a singular person, and that there's way more to this case than whatever meets the eye. I believe that's my personal opinion, just by all the stuff that was said and out
You could be 100% right.
And I could be 100% wrong.
Sylvia says 1 year, Sunny and Adam should put together some sort of gathering in Delphi. It would be epic. Perhaps involve Deb, Sleuth, Randy, etc. That would be wonderful.
Isn't there a crime con too coming or something
in September? But I would I'd be so lucky for us to get to experience that with anyone that cares about Libby and Abby as much as we do, which I know all of those people do. So,
Yorkie, don't pay attention to us. We're not here. Did you guys hit that like button, by the way?
Oh, Yorkie, it's good to see you.
Yeah, if you guys didn't hit that like button, I don't know about you guys. You guys can't even hit that like button.
And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go to Aspen Connor on YouTube and please subscribe. I would appreciate it.
Well, we're just going to appreciate the food that Deb's going to make for this big gathering that's going to happen that she doesn't know about yet. Should Deidre Kohlberger recuse herself? Yes.
Carol, I don't know whether she should or not. I think she should, and I think she will. I think she's going to have to be honest. But if she doesn't, then I support that, because then that's what the law in Ives says. So. Yeah. I personally don't see a way that she doesn't recuse herself at this point. Mm-hmm. Do you agree, Sunny?
I think she should. And I think that I just feel like, in light of everything, that everyone deserves, no matter if people think that they're guilty or not, that everyone deserves the fair justice. And if a trial can get what's the word I want to use? If a trial can get, or an appeal.
Right. That's what I say. Even if she's the best attorney for the case, I mean, if she sets Brian Koberger up for an appeal, she's not doing justice to those families, and she should recuse herself.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do. We've heard it enough on the News Nations and the Fox News and the different places around. I'm tired
of hearing that she's the only attorney in Idaho.
Same.
It's not the truth. There are 13 attorneys that can handle the DP in Idaho, which, for anyone that doesn't know, the DP is the ultimate penalty that you can face for a crime. Is the but there are 13 attorneys, and she might be the only one in northern Idaho. But you know what? She's not the only one. And we don't even fully know that this is going to be a DP case. So, until it's made a DP case, I'm tired of hearing she's the only person qualified.
Yeah, same. Because
Because as of right now, it's not a DP case. Sorry.
Nope. Keep walking around. And Sylvia, as for Cody's name being thrown around lately, your thoughts? My thoughts are this: he did live 2 doors down from Richard Allen.
For 8 months.
You know, say that again, Adam?
For 8 months.
Yeah, for 8 months. You know, could he have known Richard Allen and that family? Possibly. Possibly
it was
not.
Baby mama's house.
Yeah. So, let me put it this way: it's as good as a thought as any to look down. Obviously, if there's the fact that he lived 2 doors down, right? I mean, anyone's ears would perk to that. Does that mean that he knows Richard Allen? No. Again, that's just a matter of diving around. Was Cody, Patty, and Derek German, into substance and stuff like that? Yes. Does that play a role in the Delphi case? We don't know. It's just one of many things that is a rabbit hole to look down.
Right.
But whether you're going to come up with answers is a whole different story. And that's all it is like there's so much misinformation out there that you have to try to keep diluting, getting rid of what
it is public art critic.
And it's just like, honestly, this case is enough to make even Alexa says it's enough to make your head spin.
Right. But a flaky story doesn't mean a guilty story.
Right. And the thing is,
a lot of people live a flaky life. A lot of people are doing things flaky every day of their life.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. But, and I wouldn't want every action of my day criticized by people if something horrible were to happen to someone in my family. But I get what you mean.
I mean, Cody has definitely not lived up his best life. That's for sure.
Have many people were in this area?
Hey, right. Yeah. But there's like a ton of them out there. Again, there's, I don't know, small towns usually, especially. I like how the one guy said it the other night. It used to be where big cities had the big crimes. Now you're seeing that the smaller towns are having the big crimes, and it's now more reversed. It's these smaller towns that are having these big issues with the substance, and bigger crimes are coming out of
reported,
it.
In smaller towns.
And
it doesn't mean they don't happen in bigger cities. Yeah. They're just getting reported in smaller towns.
Yeah, but anyways, you guys, we need to get going here. It's 1:00 in the morning for me. What?
Because Kelt said, "Can't you go for another hour, Adam?" I was like, "Of course I can."
Oh no. Well, I have to go put a Snickers bar in the,
In where?
Toilet. Snickers bar in the toilet.
Should have asked.
Just being honest.
Once that fun size has been dropped, we'll see. I guess we'll see you all tomorrow night.
Can't call me not
real. What are
real.
we talking about tomorrow night, Sonny?
Delphi in Idaho, I guess.
For anyone that is watching, I will say Monday night, we are not scheduled to normally be on. Monday night, we're going to be on. Alexa, Sonny, and I are going to be on the Drunk Turkey Show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So for anyone that is doesn't follow the Drunk Turkey Show, they're an awesome group of guys. There's Daniel, there's Big Blue, and then there is Jaime. Jaime. And they're 3 cool guys, and they got kind of a similar kind of chemistry as Alexa and Sonny and I, where they just kind of go off of each other, and it's kind of YOLO and organic, and I think we all kind of work well together.
Yeah. Monday will be Delphi on the Drunk Turkey Show.
Yes. But 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Drunk Turkey Show's channel. And
tomorrow will mostly be Delphi as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were great here. A lot of great comments from people. Absolutely. A lot of subscribers and stuff like that totally appreciate it. Anyways, with saying that, you guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget.
Verbal, it's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time Monday.
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, look at Lizzie. You're just trying to throw in some questions. She hears me say, "Hey, good night," and all of a sudden, ooh, there's a question. What do you think of KG and her friend possibly catfishing?
I don't think it happened ever or at all.
Yeah. Wait for KG. Oh no. Okay, gotta go. You guys really gotta go. You guys have a great night. Take care, guys.
And thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah.
Wait,
thank you so much.
One more time. One.
Oh, wait. Okay. And you guys can be as cool as us one day too.
Say good night.
Peace. Keep it northern style. Okay, if there's one thing I asked, you guys keep it northern style.
Keep it northern style.
Keep it northern style. Okay, northern. We don't go south. We only go south when we're looking at Lizzie Dripping's name. That's when we go south. But that's just a kid's book, so we got to keep it up north. Good night.